Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi. Can you see me? Can you
I,
hear me?
I can see and hear you. That's always good.
Perfect. How does the audio sound?
Sounds good. Sounds
Okay,
good.
good. I have this whole
Yeah.
convoluted thing on.
Can you hear yourself at all?
Yeah, yeah, again.
Cool. Cool. That's good. Well, welcome. Oh, look at that.
Thank you.
Got the Britney Spears helicopter pilot. I love it. That's awesome. So how's it going?
It's going okay. Have we started yet?
I don't know,
Do
maybe. I
do I do
mean,
do I do the typical like podcast like tap dance like can I curse in here? What's
yeah.
what's the deal?
Yeah, you can definitely swear. I mean,
Fuck yes,
it's
thank you.
it's it's wildly encouraged. I'll just put it that way.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really do the NPR circuit. They're
Yeah.
just gonna bleep every other word.
Yeah.
Terry
Yeah. No.
Gross is gonna be like, for fuck's sake, and just lose it because I've been
She just
cursing the whole time.
she just walks off. That'd
Yeah.
be funny.
Very slowly though. I feel
Yeah,
like
just
she's not a
real.
runner.
Yeah. Just real chill. She'll just
Power jogger at most,
slowly.
that one.
Yeah. Olympic speed walker is pushing it. Hello and welcome to On the Rocks podcast. I'm Nate Callens. Today we're chatting with Tara Caspero. She's a corporate sleuth and aspiring starving artist. In addition to working on her first novel, she had the boneheaded idea to start writing songs during the Pani DeVito. I love that. She has now written over 50 songs and is working on her first EP. Tara is based in New Jersey, is a Cancer Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Leo Rising, has two beloved cats named Simone and Lugosi, and is woefully Italian. Tara,
That's true.
welcome to On the Rocks podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Nate.
Of course. Thank you for coming on. And how do we even like hook this up? I honestly don't really remember.
I think you followed me on Instagram and then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this person
Oh,
seems cool. Followed
yeah.
back.
Followed.
I listen to a lot of podcasts. I've
Sure.
been on a couple and I was like, you know
Cool.
what? Why don't we do this? So
Take
here
a
we are.
chance. Take a chance.
Yeah.
I think what drew me, especially to your profile, is your name, your handle is Sweaty Lamar.
Yes.
Can you
That's my like music
I
name.
love it.
It was my Twitter name for a while, and then when it came time, when I realized that I wanted to start writing my songs and actually
Mhm.
produce them, I didn't want to use my real name because I have a
Sure.
very separate life.
Yeah.
Like my people that I'm connected to on LinkedIn have no idea that I swear like a sailor,
Right.
and that I'm like talking about butts and stuff on the
Right.
internet. So
Mostly butts. Yeah.
a lot of butts, yeah, a lot of my like bad decisions around men.
Sure.
That's my brand at this point is
Sure.
like, who dumped her? What's their story? And
Who
good for
hurt you?
them.
Yeah. Just who hurt you, Tara? First question.
Yes. So I was going through some names. I realized so much later, and I am still kicking myself for it, that I
Hmm.
could have done like John Travolta. So in Philly, and some of your
Hmm.
listeners might know this, some of them might not.
Yep.
In Philly, the big thing is Jawn, Jawn. It's like,
Yep.
oh, like check out this Jawn over here. Like that's my Jawn. Like that's my shit. That's my thing.
Sure.
That's my lady. Like
My
that
lady.
Jawn's mine. Yeah.
Nice.
And I could have done John Travolta because I lived in
Ah,
Philly for 4 years, but I'm a Jersey native. But
okay.
Sweaty Lamar just wound up happening. I always thought Hedy Lamarr, the actress,
Yep.
which is where I got my
Hmm.
name from, was
Yep.
a really fascinating person. She was, again, for the listeners, and they
Yep.
should definitely Google her. She's
Yes.
beautiful and fascinating. She was an actress, but she was
Mhm.
first and foremost a scientist and an engineer. And she was like, "Listen, I'm hot as fuck. I can use my legs and this gorgeous face and my stunning voice to get grant money for all of my
Sure.
projects." And Hedy
Perfect.
Lamarr's scientific discoveries led to the eventual invention of Wi-Fi, which is
That's
why we're here
insane.
today.
Yeah. That's why
Uh,
we're here. That's
yeah, and I
so cool.
oh sorry, go on.
No, go for it.
Um, I just really liked that she was a woman of duality. She
Hmm.
was this glamorous actress, but also this brilliant scientist and
Sure.
engineer. And that's something I can relate to, having a very different
Yeah.
internal life versus my external life. And yeah, and also sweaty just comes from being a
Sure.
very very sweaty Italian.
Sweaty. So do you want to go into your dualities? I mean, your alter ego. You want to go into that? Or
Yeah. I mean,
later on?
I don't think that I have like, it's not like by day I'm, like this isn't like a wig. Like I don't have like
Right.
disguises on. But I definitely have stepped into over the last year more of myself
Sure.
online. But of course,
Hmm.
it's a little exaggerated. But I've always been someone who was the type A, the assertive,
Hmm.
the misogyny of being called a bossy
Sure.
child
Yep.
when the boys are all being called assertive and
Yeah.
leaders, and the
They're
girls are like,
leaders.
oh,
They're
this
brave.
bitch,
Yeah.
we need
Right.
to knock her down a couple pegs before she
Right.
turns 7 and really gets a hold of her confidence there. um
That's some
yeah, but
bullshit.
by day I am an executive assistant,
Right on.
and I have that very kind of corporate role. I'm lucky enough to work at a really great company where
Hmm.
like I can show up in my, as you see, Back to the Future 3
I love
t-shirt to
it.
work. Like, it's
Interesting choice.
not.
Number 3. I like that.
I will fight anyone to the death who says that 3 is a bad movie. It
Right.
beautifully concludes the series. It's a
It does.
testament to Doc and Marty's friendship.
It is.
And you have ZZ Top.
I mean, right? I mean, it
ZZ
takes.
Top is really fun in that movie.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I I love 3. Again, I
Yeah.
will fight anyone. I'm a Marty cosplayer. Like I've done
Sure.
Marty for a bunch of Comic
I
Cons,
saw some
and my
pictures. It's incredible.
yeah, and oh, thank you. And my
Yeah.
whole kitchen is Back to the Future themed. Like
Oh,
Back to the Future
wow.
is something that people really associate with me.
Sure.
So when I tell them I like 3, they're like, "Oh,
Oh,
we should probably watch it again. She knows what
yeah.
she's talking about when it comes to
Right.
these
Like
movies."
we,
Like, oh
we
shit,
trust her.
yeah. But that's my day, and then at night, I've been working on my music.
Hmm.
I've been writing my novel. I'm pretty much always up at 3 in the morning
Sure.
working on one or the other. Um,
Night
yeah.
owl then.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I can get up in the morning, and I have a lot of energy for someone who
Hmm.
doesn't drink coffee. Like it's almost
Wow.
dangerous. Yeah,
Damn.
I'm the black sheep of my family. Like my grandmother, my grandmother lived to be 99, drinking
Nice.
8+ cups of coffee a
Holy
day.
crap.
She would put like coffee in the bottles of like my father and his sisters.
Hmm.
It's a big thing in my family. I am the like
Wow.
one person
The
in my
only
family
one.
who doesn't drink coffee. And every time I would go visit my grandmother, she'd be like, "Oh, you want coffee?" And I'm like, "No, Grandma, I don't drink coffee." And she'd be like, "Do you want coffee?" And I'm like, "Gram, no." It
That's
didn't
your
get
answer.
me. It didn't get me written out of the will, and I will still,
Sure.
maintain that I'm the favorite grandchild. But I think she was a little disappointed, just a
Sure.
smidge.
So, have you ever had coffee before?
I've had it like 3 times.
Really?
And yeah, I had it once when I was 4, and I
Okay.
remember
A little too
having it.
early.
Yeah, I remember having it.
I love
And
it.
I was like, oh, I don't like this. Like, I can picture myself in my parents' kitchen drinking it, and I was like,
Yep.
no.
Not for
And
me.
then when I was when I was 13, I was out with my little like hometown friends with their little
Hmm.
Coach purses and their fake
Yep.
tans and the whole thing.
Sure. Classic.
And
Classic Jersey.
yes, and I asked for a frappuccino, and I got a
Oh.
cappuccino, and I went like just drunk it and just spit it right out, and I was like, nope. And I don't think I've had coffee since. That
Wow.
was like
Damn.
15 to 17 years ago at this
Sure.
point. Yeah.
Wow. So, how do you have so much energy then? Where does it come from?
Uh, I don't know. It's not Coke. It's not getting the right serotonin or cortisol
Sure.
levels. I can tell you that shit for sure.
Wow.
I'm fucking
Right.
depressed. But but I don't know. I've always just had a lot of energy. I never needed a
Wow.
lot of sleep.
Huh. How many hours of sleep do you get per night, average?
During the pandemic, a little more because I wasn't like
Sure.
going out after work or anything. Maybe 5.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you're only surviving on like 2 or 3 at least. I mean, I think,
No, I'm not doing like the Bill Clinton. Apparently,
yeah,
he only needs like 4 hours of sleep, and I'm like, hmm, I get that one extra hour.
yeah, right. I think 5 is pretty solid. Just
Listen, Nate, the world is on fire.
it
We've
sure
all got
is.
stuff to worry about.
We do.
It's amazing we get any sleep at
It's
all.
amazing. It's amazing we get any good sleep and we rest easy at all, isn't it?
Yeah, gender reveal parties are devastating the rainforests.
Yeah, right? What the hell?
I mean, yeah,
Keep it
we got
simple.
stuff to worry. We got stuff to worry about, man.
Oh, yeah, you're not kidding. So speaking of that segues really nicely into my next question for you. What has lockdown and quarantine and COVID times been like exactly for Sweaty Lamarr?
Sure. So a lot of time talking to my cats, who I did kind of shut out of the room.
Me too.
They're being entertained with the TV right now.
Sure.
A lot of time, talking to cats who can't talk back. When I always say, like, I'm saying to someone, I was telling Simone how small and sweet her little face is. They're like, did she answer you? And I'm like, yes. Okay, can this be a yes and conversation, not a no but conversation? Like, we've all seen at least one improv troupe. Like, someone's ex-boyfriend was in an improv troupe and you were dragged to see that.
They're mediocre at best. Yeah, mediocre at best they were. Yeah.
Yeah, please do a yes and on this. I talked to the cats. And I had this, as I mentioned, boneheaded idea. Like, I literally woke up one day in March with a song in my head.
Oh.
And I wrote the lyrics down.
A gift.
I had not sung before. No, it's a curse. It's a curse and a half.
Just getting it up to appear in your head, though, that's
it was
90% of it is just having that.
So Mary Steenburgen, the actress,
love her.
had this, me too. She had this procedure. I think she had like an elbow surgery or something. And she came out of the anesthesia and she heard all of this music in her head. This was a couple years ago.
What?
And she was really freaked out. Like, it didn't go away. And she was like, I'm afraid that I've had some kind of mental break.
Oh, wow.
Or did the anesthesia do something to my brain? And eventually she was like, I can't keep it in. I have to get it out. So she started working with people who would kind of take the music out of her head and arrange it. And she did this movie. She did a song for this movie called Wild Rose with Jessie Buckley, maybe a year or two ago. And she wrote the song that was like the big centerpiece song for the movie. Damn. So it was like this accident that she wound up being this musical person. She like writes songs in Nashville, and it's a calling of hers, I guess.
Damn.
And I very much related to that when I started writing songs, because my earliest writing was a number of years ago. I did Instagram micro movie reviews.
Oh, nice.
They were called like What I Watched Wednesday, and every Wednesday I would post what I watched. It could be a TV show, could be a movie, could be a documentary, and I would write a little review very much in my voice and not the typical like, just a stale stuffy recap. I'd be like, stay the fuck away from this one, or like, this was my shit. And people really liked them, but that was just kind of me farting all over the internet.
Right.
And then
that'll be the name of this episode, by the way. Farting all over the internet.
That's perfect. You have my full consent.
Perfect.
And then I started writing my novel, and I'm now almost 200 pages into that novel.
Damn.
And I thought that's what I was going to be doing in terms of a creative pursuit.
Right.
So the music came about by accident. I started singing that song that I wrote, the first one. And I was like, I think I have to make this. Like, it came to me with this like sickening pit in my stomach of like, fuck, like I have to make this, and I have to take it seriously, because all of my friends are incredibly talented musicians. And while you're thinking, wow, what a supportive community. It's like, no, I don't want to disappoint them. No. I was managing one of my friends for a couple of years because he's a solo artist and a touring and session drummer.
Sure.
Some of my friends are on labels. Some of my friends have toured internationally. Like,
wow, cool.
I was always the one who was the, if you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter.
Sure, you're the
I was always the athletic supporter. And I was always photographing the shows. I was making cupcakes for the boys. I was like throwing 20s like in their wallets when they weren't looking for when they went on tour. Like, I was always the mom,
the band mom,
the scene. Yeah. And, and sometimes the groupie.
I mean, you do what you got to do, right?
Yeah. You got to, relationships get blurred. And, my cat is coming possibly into frame. Hi, Lugosi.
Nice.
Yes, he's gonna make himself known. He's gonna yell at us and make himself known.
Yeah.
But so I was like, oh shit, like now I'm the one in front of the camera. And over the years, a couple like important people who came in and out of my life were like, I don't get why you're behind the camera.
Oh wow.
You're the person who's supposed to be in front of the camera. And I'd be like, No, I'm not special. I don't have a talent. I don't have a craft.
Sure.
You know, I'm nothing like the way that we're all kind of,
Yeah. Just takes a little push from the right people.
So when my music came along, thank you. When that came along, I was like, okay, I'm going to start taking singing lessons. So I found this amazing voice teacher in Jersey. She's like my age. She's a professional touring opera singer. She's the sweetest person in the world. And I started working with her right away, like once or twice a week. And I bought a guitar because I didn't own one.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah, have you ever played? Wow.
I had never played one. And I was like, I have to figure out these songs. Like I have to figure out the chords under these songs. And, you know, very luckily the people around me, again, are very talented musicians. So as I found people, I'm like, can I just sing this a cappella to you and you can figure out the chords? And they do.
Oh, wow. Damn.
But a couple of them I've been able to arrange myself. And plus, like, I would like to just be able to play the guitar. So I bought my first guitar last year.
That's awesome.
And it was an $80 guitar that I like wore to shreds. And now I have a really nice Yamaha transacoustic.
Oh, nice. Cool. Right on.
When you get batteries in that thing, it sounds beautiful because you can change like the chorus and the reverb and all that.
Damn.
Yeah, it's really great.
So you went on you were like the fast track to learning the guitar, to like writing these songs, arranging these songs, and you have 50 of them already. That's insane.
Yeah. I'm extremely type A. If I'm doing something, I'm doing it with my whole ass. But yeah, so I started writing and then everything came out of it. Like once that first song was out, and I sung it and I had written it down, just songs came out. And I had written an album last year. That was the primary focus of my year last year. It was a 12-song album about the years that I spent living in Philly when I was in college.
Oh, sure.
I love the city and I keep coming back. Like I'm always in town. I'm actually going to be in town this weekend to see my son Harry Styles at the Wells Fargo. I'm so excited.
Oh wow, damn.
Yeah. So I'm in town a lot.
He's done pretty well for himself.
Yeah. I think the boy's going to make it. I think
he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Yeah, so I'm in town all the time and it keeps drawing me back. And I've had times where I've considered just packing up my whole life and moving down there again.
Oh, wow.
And the album was sort of me processing my feelings around this because college was my cat's tail is right in the camera.
Your cat is like washing things for you.
Yeah. Thanks, Boopa.
That's funny.
So I wound up writing this story of my relationship with Philly, and as Philly became this flesh and bone and blood character, it very easily took the silhouette of like, oh, I'm gonna make Philly out to be a bad relationship.
Oh, yep.
So the songs have this very blurred line. Robin Thicke does not get royalties for me saying that phrase. No, he didn't hear this.
No, his dad, Alan Thicke, does. He's writing the jingle for your new reality show.
Didn't he die?
He did. He sure did.
He did. Yeah, rest in peace, Alan Thicke. Unless he's problematic, but I don't think I heard anything.
I don't think he's like, definitely Robin Thicke is, but not Alan.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
I mean, God, that fucking song.
Yeah.
You know you want it.
I'm glad that Marvin Gaye, took him for all he's worth in that regard.
Right?
But the Weird Al version, Word Crimes, is very good.
It's genius.
It's all about grammar. It's very good. Yeah, so this album wound up taking the shape of a bad boyfriend that you kind of can't help but love. And, how are you really in life going to get an apology from a place? Right. But that place was my home and still feels like home when I'm there. So it was a whole complicated thing. And the album was definitely inspired by at least one ex-boyfriend who shall remain nameless.
Right. He knows who he is. He knows what he did.
No, he doesn't know what he did, because if he knew what he did, he'd probably be apologizing. But yeah, and then I worked on that all year. Like I went through a couple of different producers. I had a producer I was working with who I knew for a long time who wound up moving, so it wouldn't be as easy to work together. I brought someone else in that I'm still working with, like a friend from high school that I've known for 15 years. Cool. So it's nice to have that support. But he's one of the best singers I've ever heard in my life. So I'm like, please go away when I'm singing, because
also, could you do a few duets with me? That'd be great. Could you at least sing harmonies with me?
Can you sing for me? Thank you so much.
Right.
And so I just over the summer was like, I have to cancel the album.
Oh shit. What?
I was like, when I sing, and I did one song from it. I recorded one song from it in Philly. And I was like, I feel nothing.
Really?
I can't sing these songs, like the ones that were about this person. I was like, I feel nothing when I sing.
Is it because it was over and you knew it was over? I think
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the way that it had dissolved, because I wasn't expecting it to, it was just sort of a sudden like, oh, we're not, like, I don't think we're going to be friends. I don't think we're going to be able to see each other without giving each other the finger in public. Like the way it ended, I was just like, oh my God, I feel nothing for this person anymore. And I don't think I can show up for these songs in the way that I need to. And also the album was taking a really long time to get things done because people have 9 to 5s. I have a 9 to 5, you know, pandemic interrupting things. And when can we get this person to come in and do bass? And when can we get this person to come in and lay the drums on this? And when are we getting a mix? And I just had like a breakdown about it. I was like, no, we're canceling the album. I have one song recorded from it, which I will be releasing as soon as my mixing engineer mixes it.
Cool.
And that's the testament to the album and the relationships that inspired it. And I really love that song. It's my favorite thing.
Awesome. What's it called?
That's called I Have Always Been in Love with You.
Nice.
It's long, but the title actually came from the person I wrote it about.
Okay. Well, then you have to.
They heard the song and gave me their blessing to release it. And I was like, really?
Yeah. At what point in the game was that then? Where they gave
Funnily enough, like maybe 4 or 5 months before we stopped speaking. But I don't think it would change. Like I'm not going to get sued. It's not, you know, it's not that big a deal. But yeah, so that song will be released. That's going to be the first thing I release.
Cool.
And then I found these 2 guys in Nashville on Instagram, again, just randomly.
Perfect.
You know,
it's where all things happen.
Yeah. And I talked to one of them and he was like, you have so many songs. Like I sent him my master doc of lyrics and I was like, I have Phoebe Bridgers' sad white bitch nonsense. I have like a Carly Rae Jepsen tribute song. I have like a B-52's Devo song. Like I have stuff just comes to me regardless of genre.
That's insane. Wow.
It's a weird, like things will come to me and I'm like, I almost don't, like I should probably just try to give this to someone who it better fits. But for now, I'm going to make it. And he was like, pick a song. And because he was, you know, that's the Nashville sound, I was like, okay, this one. And it was this sequel that I had written to Jolene.
Oh, nice.
The Dolly Parton song.
Yeah, of course.
And you're getting some hot scoop here, Nate.
Okay.
Please, viewers, listeners, please know I'm doing like the jerk off motion to the camera. Like I could not. I am not important. I do not think I'm worthy of any hot gossip.
Hot goss alert.
Hot goss. But I had written this song. It is a song by Jolene from her perspective, and it is a sequel to the events of Jolene.
Like the
and
reverse.
She comes. Yeah, and she comes to the Dolly Parton character and she says, and this is the title of the song, Abby, I'm sorry I stole your man.
I love it.
So when people hear it, they're going to be like, why is she sorry she stole a man?
Yeah.
You know, very clearly, if the man in Jolene was willing to leave Dolly fucking Parton.
Right. Dolly
that guy's got to be a sleazeball.
Yeah, he's a
and
snake.
We find out that he is a damn snake. So that's going to be the song that my new EP that I've been working on with them is centered around. And nobody, let me tell you, nobody that I know is expecting a very country kind of, and it's not country like 2008 Taylor Swift.
Sure.
Country like Orville Peck, Casey Musgraves. Something that kind of has an elevated feel, definitely isn't, infused with my little punky, rocky sensibilities.
Perfect. A good mix then.
Yeah. So this album now has taken a lot of shape, and I may eventually release the tracks that I wrote about my Philly experience. You know, maybe one here on an album, one here on an album, but
not a cohesive all together project then.
Yeah, it was like a narrative concept album about this bad relationship, and it was very easy to just take the details from people I knew, you know, just like, oh, here, okay, you wear this, you do this, you say this, you know. But yeah, so now I'm working on this new EP, and I'm very excited about it. The team that I'm working with is fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's do you have any titles in mind for the EP yet? Or have they come to you? Or?
I have to see how much my mom yells at me for this one, but the working title that I've been calling it is a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, but country is going to have the O missing.
Sure. What would the Osmonds think of that? I think they'd probably like it. Donnie and Marie would be like, we approve. It's fine.
Oh God. Yeah. The Branson crowd is really going to love my C word album. Great. Give it up to Branson.
I mean, I'm totally on board with that. I think that's genius. I think that's a great title. It's going to definitely get people's attention, you know, and that's.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because this is my first, it'll be my first. So.
Yeah. So 50 songs. And then how do you narrow it down for the EP? How many songs are you planning on?
Sure. So the EP, we have like 5 at this point. I have one that I am taking from the album. My plan is to take one that we did some work on in the studio from the canceled album and bring it over, because that song has a kind of Jenny Lewis, Rilo Kiley, 2003 feel. And I think it would work with the rest of the songs. And then the way that I had narrowed it down was I just picked the ones that sonically felt right. So I had Abby, I'm Sorry I Stole Your Man. I had this one song from the last album. I wrote one when I realized this EP was going to have a theme. I wrote like a country ballad, which again, people are not expecting this. Like, they're like, who are you?
Blindside them.
Because I don't even listen to country music.
Oh, really?
Like, I don't listen. That's the thing. These songs just came to me and I really enjoyed them. Yeah. And like, I put my own feel on it. So like, we've done some work on Abby. It sounds fantastic. And one of the influences I gave my team was Dead Man's Bones, the Ryan Gosling project, which is really dark and like Southern Gothic. And it's not the twangy country you think of when you hear country. It's something different. So it's, you know, there's maybe some sinister vibes on this, or some punky vibes on this song or that song. I have another song that I was writing that'll be on this EP that is a sort of tribute to Fleabag, the second season of Fleabag. Fleabag and the Priest. Which again just came out, like, the way that I write my songs is very often I will have a conversation with someone and they will say one little phrase. And I'm like, that's
something.
Shit. I'm like, my first time, every time a new song comes to me, my first thing is, shit, another one? Like, the Google Doc is getting too long. Yeah. And then I'll start writing lyrics, or like go to the bathroom, like, because my bathroom is really great acoustics, and I'll just sit on the lid of my toilet. Most of my writing is honestly done on the toilet. When I moved out of my last apartment into this one, I was like very afraid that, like, leaving the toilet where I had written most of the songs, like sitting on top of the toilet lid, was gonna like curse me. And I will say, I have written fewer songs in this apartment. So
fucking A.
I don't know. Like, luckily that apartment is upstairs, and I may just go to the new tenants and be like, can I just like rent your bathroom out for an hour? I gotta finish the chorus on
I need
this
some
song.
studio time in the bathroom.
Yes. Yeah, so I would like, or, you know, I would record a little scratch vocal so I remember what the melody sounds like.
Right, that's important.
That's all I have. Like, I really still can't arrange that well myself. And when I have the people around me that I do, I'm like, I'm just going to give it to them. They're going to do it so much better. I can put some chords down, but they're going to come up with something beautiful.
Sure. That's amazing to be surrounded with those type of people to help you with that, because that, I would imagine that's probably the hardest part. If these songs are just coming to you and then you're burdened with trying to arrange them yourself, trying to make those two mesh, it's got to be a challenge.
It's so frustrating. And, you know, I've had good people around, and I come to them with every piece of information I can get them. Like, I send them the lyrics. I make an inspiration playlist for the song on Spotify with all of, I like the drum fills here, and I like the tone of this guitar, and I like this, song progression and whatever. And I will also, in my lyrics, write in blue. Like, I have a whole coding system. Anything in blue is like a musical note. So like, okay, 16 beats here, 8 beats here before the chorus and the verse, and like parentheses, music drops out here. Music resumes on this lyric. So
it's like you're writing a script almost.
Yeah, and as I'm growing as a songwriter, I'm getting better at communicating to them what I need, and I've noticed that the songs that I've worked on lately are so much better than the stuff that I just kind of casually put together before, because I have more of a vocabulary to share with them. And
you're growing more as an artist, getting that whole thing down.
Oh yeah, no question.
So you're writing stage directions. Sweaty enters stage right as the sun sets.
Excellent, pursued by bear. Yeah, but so I have this Fleabag song on that album. I have one that's kind of Wizard of Oz referential.
Nice.
I have the Jolene one. I have one that I wrote about a friend and their addictions. And that's the one that I took from this last album. A friend and their alcoholism and how it kind of blew up their life. And it's a kind song. It's
just a little more heavy material.
Except that the lyrics are the heavy part, and the music is like super boppy and poppy and catchy, and then everyone listens to the lyrics and they're like,
"What the fuck?
Wait, what?" But like, I like that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs that are like that, where people just don't listen to the lyrics. They're like, "This is a happy song." It's like, no, that's Stalker looking at you sing.
Yeah, the entire state of New Jersey does not know what Born in the USA is about. Like, Chris Christie's shaking his ass. I've seen Chris Christie shake his ass at the Bruce concerts. He's doing these little arms, and I'm like, Born in the USA is not a celebrity. It's not Lee Greenwood.
No, it's
Only
not.
Lee Greenwood is Lee Greenwood.
Yes. How do they not listen to the lyrics and realize what the fuck it's about? That's what just kills me.
When the vinyl came out, it's on the
it's on the sleeve.
There was a liner note, my friends. Now I guess with Spotify, like, it doesn't show the lyrics. I have Apple Music because, and I'll be honest with you, because my mom and my family has an Apple Music account. So I'm like, listen, I'm going to log into my mother's account. I'm not paying for Spotify. So I mostly use Apple Music, and they do have the lyrics. But as I talk to people in my own musical journey, again, these are in quotes.
Sure.
A lot of my friends are like, I can write a song any day of the week. I can arrange a whole musical number, and writing lyrics is most difficult to me. And I pay attention to the music over the lyrics. I am the exact opposite.
Yeah,
where
it's just like a flip-flop.
Constant lyrics, constant lyrics. And then I know what it sounds like in my head. Like, I can hear the whole song, every instrument in my head.
That's insane.
But then I struggle with getting it out. And I've had some songs that sound exactly like what's in my head. And those are the really lucky moments.
Yeah, the bangers.
And others that were better than I expected. Because I just had a good collaborator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, I feel like most people struggle with writing the lyrics. That's my assumption. I'm not a songwriter, but I feel like most people that want to write music, they get frustrated because they don't know what lyrics are going to, how the lyrics are going to take shape compared to what the music is. They can maybe hear a melody in their head, but nothing else.
Yeah, I've literally tried to write music and then write lyrics, and I can't do it.
Just doesn't sync up.
I can't do it at all. Like, I think that maybe just because I'm very new to arranging music, if let's say, one of my friends or you or someone gave me a piece of music they've written, I might, lyrics might come to me. But I think if I'm just writing, here's a guitar, you okay, change to the E major chord, and here we go. Nothing special lyrically is going to come out, because I'm not writing really complicated or interesting melodies on the guitar.
Well, luckily you have good people around you that help you with all that
I do.
mumbo jumbo that you have a little bit of struggle with. I mean, the lyrics to
Yeah,
me are the most important part, I think. I mean,
that's how I feel. But a
you
lot
know,
of people are like, I need the music. But then I'm working with those people, so there's the
sure.
balance.
Yeah. Then that's, yeah, you guys each bring certain things to the table.
Hmm.
Wow. So you mentioned a few artists before, Phoebe
Yes.
Bridgers, and I can't remember the other ones. I just lost them. What?
Um, in terms of the music that I've like written,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
Phoebe Bridgers, and I can't remember
Phoebe Bridgers, I have the one B-52
Oh yes,
song
that's
that I
right.
mentioned. I have a Carly Rae Jepsen song that I wrote that I really love.
Hmm.
I'm working on one with a friend of mine that's very Josie and the Pussycats
Oh, nice.
soundtrack inspired, because that is
Awesome.
one of my favorite movies of all
Yeah, it's
time.
incredible.
Yeah,
It's
and
got a kind of a cult following, a little bit.
I'm leading the cults. You know, we've
Yeah.
all got a uniform. We've got
Yes.
the ears. We've got the
Yeah.
purple leopard print. That's me leading the cult, though. I'm the
Sure.
Keith Raniere of the Josie and the Pussycats
Nice.
fan club.
That's
Yeah.
that's perfect. I love that. So, are those artists like Carly Rae Jepsen and the B-52s and Phoebe Bridgers? Are those ones that you look up to, or that just happen to be how they turned out in your head? Or
Sure. Phoebe, I love.
Mhm.
Like I'm dying to see her. She's not really coming to my area except for festivals.
Where did she come from? It feels like she just was like a meteor, just flying through the sky all of a sudden. Like,
Yeah,
what's her deal? I
I
mean,
don't think she
seriously.
was. I don't think she was a plant. Like because some
Yeah.
some of these artists are for sure plants. Like that
Yeah.
artist, her Her.
Yeah.
She came from
What?
like nowhere, and she
A
is
factory?
no album out, or I guess an album is coming out soon, but she was just like in a Pepsi commercial without
How's
an
that?
album out, and I'm like, you
It's
are a
marketing.
plant.
It's marketing.
Um,
That's all it is.
Phoebe, I think Phoebe was just always doing music.
Okay.
Like there are photos of her from when she was like 11, and she's got
Sure.
a little guitar. So she just got discovered somehow. Same thing
Yeah.
with like Lucy Dacus, who I think is
Mhm.
really great. And I worked on one of my songs with Lucy's guitarist, and I was
Oh,
really
nice.
excited
Wow.
about working,
Yeah.
with someone who had worked on
Right.
Lucy's albums. And yeah, so Phoebe, I really love.
Mhm.
I wish I could sing like her because I think she's a really cool voice.
She does.
My musical influences, my biggest inspirations are Brian Fallon from the Gaslight Anthem.
Thank you.
Huge,
Fucking A.
huge. I mean, I'm
Like
from Jersey.
yeah,
Is that your guy?
he's my guy. He's one of my favorite songwriters. Like I've been a fan since the Gaslight days. I first got into the Gaslight Anthem, like, God, I remember what year, like 2007 or
Yeah, that sounds about right.
whenever the 59 sound came out in like 2009, but I listened to the Current out of Minneapolis, that
Yes,
radio station. That's where I first heard them. That's where I first heard like the Hold Steady, like
great.
Adele before anyone knew who she was, Lizzo
Yeah,
like 15 years ago. Um, Not
that
15, maybe
rules.
12. It's like they just broke so many artists on that station. I love it. But
That's
yeah,
great.
that's where I first heard the Gaslight Anthem, and then Brian Fallon's solo stuff is just so good too. I mean,
Incredible. I
ridiculous.
I've always loved them, and I've always loved him. I was
Mhm.
in one of their music videos. I
What?
was in the video for Here Comes My Man in New York.
What? What the
They like
hell?
they put the
That's
people in the front. I wasn't like the lead
right.
girl or anything. I was an extra, but I got an email about it from their
Hmm.
like website, and they said come to Brooklyn, and if you knew the lyrics to Here Comes My Man, because the
Hmm.
album had not been out for very long, you get
Yeah.
to kind of be in the front because we want people kind of screaming the lyrics.
That's
And
incredible.
I knew the lyrics. I will send you, there is a video of
You
me
should.
behind the scenes singing it, like from
What?
10 years ago at
That
this
is
point.
so cool.
Yeah, it
Oh
was
man, that's
fun. And
awesome.
I've
Yeah,
I've
hell
met
yeah.
Brian. I've met Brian a couple
Yeah,
times. A good
cool.
friend of mine has toured with him, has drummed for him
Oh,
a
nice.
bunch.
Wow.
And I'll tell you a cute story about Brian.
Yeah.
So I met him in '09. I went to see him in
Damn.
Philly. Murder by Death opened for them, which
Nice.
was incredible because I
Yeah,
love Murder by Death.
that's so cool.
And after the show, like I got the set list because I was very much the
Of
type of person
course.
at the time who wanted the set list.
Yeah,
I
of
still
course.
have that set list.
Amazing.
And we saw Brian outside. It was me and two of my friends. And he signed the set list.
Mhm.
And so I was like, oh, I have this. And then I was like, shit, I should have asked him to write like one of the lyrics that I loved or something. So I could like get it tattooed.
Yeah.
So he did a solo show at the First Unitarian in Philly, like 2 years later. First Unitarian is my favorite concert venue in the world. It's literally a church basement. Dark wood panel walls. The stage has like an alphabet carpet that has seen much better days.
Yes.
Fits 300 people. It's my favorite venue. So he played there. And after I went up to him again, I was like, I didn't get to ask you this the last time I met you, but I really want to get No Retreat, No Regrets.
Yes. Awesome.
On my wrists. Like that's what I wanted when I was in college. And I was like, can you write it? And I'm going to get the tattoo. He goes, I'm going to write it for you on one condition. I was like, oh God, what is it? That you don't get the tattoo. And I had to promise him. So now I have a ticket that says No Retreat, No Regrets. And I still have the ticket.
That's awesome.
But I do not have the tattoo, nor
I was going to say, I don't see him.
Tattoos. No, I don't have any tattoos.
I don't either.
He like made me promise not to get the tattoo. He's a cool dude.
Oh man, I love that story.
Yeah.
That's so great. I've got one of his albums sitting up there. I don't know if you can see it, like right up.
Yes. Yep.
There.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I love him.
So cool.
Brian is a huge influence for me. Laura Jane Grace, like,
oh fuck yeah,
wife of my dreams. Love her.
She's awesome.
A friend of mine got me a cameo last year because she does cameos, and it was a cameo of Laura, and I was literally like, I was just about to hop in the shower, and my friend Andrew was like, open your phone. So I open my phone. It says, there's a cameo waiting for you.
Okay.
I open it. I am just about to get in the shower. I am naked. Like I am naked. And Laura comes up on the screen and starts talking. It's like, hi, Tara. And I just immediately, it was a hard year last year. I burst into tears. I am standing naked, hysterically crying in my bathroom because Laura was like, and she did the swimming pool song from her newest album, which is, I love that song so much.
Good. She rules hard.
You did one of my favorite songs. I'm in love with you. I've been in love with you since like 2007.
Yep. God,
and
so
at
cool.
the end of the cameo, she tells me, she's like, of course, and we kind of have some mutual friends, so this isn't totally out of the realm of possibility. She was like, send me your album when it's done. And I was like, I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to be like a weird rabid fan and be like, Laura, you told me I could send this to you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. The same guy who knows Brian knows Laura. So like he's
good
just
God.
He's a good dude.
Can he book them on my show? Like,
yeah, right. Can he book them on my album?
Right. Oh shit, that's so cool.
Other influences for you, Nate. Let's see. Alanis Morissette, obviously.
Of course.
I have not met Alanis. I was supposed to see her last week, and it got rained out, and I
no.
wanted to die.
What?
Let's see who else that I really love. I mean, I grew up like suicidal, depressed high schooler. So the trifecta of Connor Oberst, Elliott Smith, and Max Bemis.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
a huge Say Anything fan. I'm a huge Elliott Smith fan, a huge Bright Eyes fan.
Hell yeah. Good choices.
And then Cher.
Cher. And then Cher.
And these people who I love who are more poppy and people don't expect.
Right.
Sometimes. If they knew who I was in like 2009, they're like, oh yeah, of course you fucking love Cher. If they meet me now with my like my all black and my skull rings, they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a huge geek. Like don't let the clothes fool ya. I'm a big old geek. Again, I'm a fucking Marty McFly cosplayer.
I'm a McFly over here.
I'm a huge dork. So
I love it.
So like Cher, I gotta think there's someone I'm missing, and I'm gonna call you in 3 weeks and be like, oh my God, how did I not think of this person? But I know who it is. There's an amazing artist in Philly named Shannen Moser.
Okay.
Shannen.
Okay.
Shannen is incredible, and every time I meet a new collaborator that I'm working with, I'm like, please just write me a Shannen Moser song. That's all I want. She has the craziest voice.
Wow.
Very simple, like beautiful acoustic songs.
Sure.
But
I always
say that Shannen is a huge, because like that's what I wanted to do. And she literally knows all of the people that I like kind of wrote these songs about, like my Philly crew. Like she knows all these people.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's another
so cool.
huge one for me.
Yeah, I like that. So what, like, if you had to name a few songs that kind of explain your overall vibe, just as a person or as an artist,
songs by other people?
Are there 3 songs that you could be like, these are the songs that I am influenced by, or I want to be like, or just that best represent your vibe?
Good question. Shit, that's a really good question.
You can come back to it too. I mean, there's no pressure.
I'm gonna have to think about this.
Sure.
That's a great question.
Well,
I can tell you one.
Okay.
One for sure is "You Ought to Know" by Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, classic.
Not only is it just a clever song, it's deeply confessional, which is big in my songwriting. Like I'm tattling on myself all the time. But the fury in Alanis's voice, and the sense of wanting, because I know that she wrote that song wanting other people, especially women, to be able to say, I feel that, I felt that, I know that,
relate
and that
to
was
it.
her goal, that connectedness. So that's a big
great
one. For
me.
That's
a great song.
Yes.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
So you mentioned Alanis Morissette. You were supposed to see her. It sucks it got rained out. What's the last concert you have actually gotten to see? And when was it?
I just saw Wilco.
Nice.
In the city in Forest Hills, which is a really great stadium in Queens. They have a curfew at 10, which is fantastic because I'm 30 and I'm feeling old. But that 5, show, right? That show rained too. We were literally standing in pouring rain because it's an outdoor venue. Pouring rain the entire set. And honestly, Nate, I felt alive. It was a really good, I will never forget that concert because
you won't.
Soaking wet. Like I'd sit in the car with my friend and we just like turned up the AC and we were just like shaking ourselves out after.
That's amazing.
I saw them. I saw Bright Eyes this summer, which was great.
Cool. I didn't know they were touring currently. I didn't know that.
Bright Eyes did a couple shows. They did Waxahachie and Lucy Dacus opened.
Oh, wow.
I'm, Harry Styles is coming this week with Jenny Lewis opening.
Oh, cool.
Jenny's
Adventures
my
in Babysitting, of course.
Yeah, the queen.
I just
True
love
Beverly
that
Hills.
Yeah, I just love that that's her. It's so, it's still weird to me.
Yeah, she's like the one child star who figured it out.
Yeah,
but she's a huge influence on me. That's
nice.
That's really the one that I forgot to mention is Rilo Kiley.
Yep.
That I've loved her forever too.
Nice.
So yeah, my last concert before the pandemic was Celine Dion with my mother.
Wow.
A week before I went into lockdown, I saw Celine with Val. And Val and I had we had a great time. Honestly, we don't always get along and we got along very well that night. Like we were just like, doing the Because You Loved Me, like we kind of held hands during it. It was very sweet.
That's great.
And Celine was great. She's like a nut. Like the way she just interacts with the crowd. Oh, she's cuckoo, but I love her.
Yeah, she's a cuckoo bird for sure. She thinks she's a comedian too, from what I've heard.
Listen, if you're that talented at
in between.
If you're that talented at one thing, I'll kind of let you think that you're good at something else.
Right.
Like that cup has to overflow a little bit.
Yeah, it has to.
And then what else? Do I have other shows? I'm supposed to see Murder by Death this year. I'm hoping it, stays. I'm seeing Titus Andronicus this year. Very excited for that. Cool. It's the Monitor's 10th anniversary.
Nice.
I'm seeing Soul Glow in October, the best punk band.
Right on.
Currently active. Wow. Yes.
Really?
What about you?
Bold. That's a bold statement. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know the band.
Good.
Yeah.
They're great. They're worth the distinction. Wait, but what about you? What was your last concert? What have you seen? What's coming up?
Fuck, it's been way too long. Last concert I saw was The Who in Vancouver in fall of 2019. It's been a long COVID year. It's been a long pandy. Most living in Fargo, most of the shows here are indoors and just don't really trust people, to be honest.
Yeah, I get that.
We've got some great outdoor venues here, but a lot of the artists that were supposed to come to Fargo, outdoors, they were We have an amphitheater called Blue Stem Amphitheater, which it holds like 4,000 people. I've seen anyone from Joan Jett there to Wilco to John Prine to Weezer to Nelly, like a lot of middle range artists, Avett Brothers, OAR,
Okay.
like just
I've seen
wide
OAR.
range. Fucking awesome in concert. They're so good.
I got offered a joint. I was like 14. I did not smoke it. I kind of didn't know what it was. I was like, why is that cigarette brown?
Why is it so little and like looks like it's all wet? What's
I
wrong with that?
genuinely love, and I am not the type who like, and you don't seem the type either who wears like puka shells like in the middle of winter.
No.
Like we don't look like conventional OAR people,
No.
but if Crazy Game of Poker comes on,
Oh shit.
I will sing the shit out of that song.
And see, that's the song that for me, like at Blue Stem, the one issue with Blue Stem is that the parking there just fucking sucks. There's one entrance. It's like a shared entrance exit. It's like, it's a park by the river in Fargo, like between Fargo, North Dakota and Moorhead, Minnesota. And so it's basically in like the middle of a field with a bunch of trees. And there's like farmers that have land, like kind of butting up to it. So there's one road going in and out of it. So if you don't leave during the last song, you're sitting in the parking lot for an hour. Like we all leave during, we've seen OAR like probably 2 or 3 times there. And we always leave during Crazy Game of Poker just because we know if we stay for the whole thing, we're not getting out of there.
And you'll hear it as you're walking out.
Yeah, we hear it. It's outdoors. You know, you can hear the whole thing perfectly.
Yeah.
But it's an amphitheater, so the sound is just amazing there. But they were supposed to have like a really, really big lineup this summer. Like freaking Billy Idol was supposed to be there this summer. They were going to book him last year. They were going to book him last year, and then like of course COVID hit and like nothing was happening. So then they said like, well, we're going to rebook all these bands that were going to be there this year, next year. And so I'm like, holy shit, this is going to go off next summer. And then like, I can't remember the other bands, but like we had tickets to see Smashing Pumpkins down in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. No, not Smashing Pumpkins. Sorry, that was one that we considered going to, but we didn't. But we had tickets to Rage Against the Machine. That's who it was in Sioux Falls.
Nice.
And that got moved like twice. And I don't know. They were supposed to play with Run the Jewels. I don't know when that's even going to happen.
Wait, as like a co-headlining show?
At that point when it was booked, I think Run the Jewels was just going to open. Like it wasn't like a dual headline.
Wow.
I know. This, you got to remember, this was like 2 years ago already too.
That's like, a cool
when they announced
set,
it.
though.
Yeah, for sure.
That rocks. I love that.
God,
I would go see that.
Well, we had tickets to Guns N' Roses, and that actually did happen in Fargo indoors. And that was, I can't imagine what a clusterfuck that was with no mask mandates or anything, with 18,000 people inside in North Dakota.
Oh my God.
Like the reddest state in the Midwest. God, it sucks living here being a blue person and being surrounded by like
I can get that.
Trumpers and stuff. But God, who else? Oh, we were supposed to see the Hello Mega Tour with Green Day, the Interrupters, Fall Out Boy, and Weezer. Didn't go to that. So yeah, it's just been kind of like getting refunds a lot. So hopefully next year's
I'm hoping for you too. Yeah.
So it's been a rough thing because we love going to concerts. Like we've traveled, you know, we went to Vancouver to see freaking The Who. Like, you know, we saw Tom Petty up in Winnipeg and we saw him in Toronto. And so like we love Canada. We like going to Canada.
Clearly.
Yeah, we're close to Canada. Like we're only like 3.5 hours away from Winnipeg, and they get a lot of the same bands that Minneapolis, St. Paul gets, but the traffic is just way easier going just straight up north to Winnipeg.
That's wild.
It's wild.
That's really wild that you could just leave the country and have an easier traveling experience.
I know, it's crazy. Like even with
crazy.
Even with 20 minutes at the border, it's still a better drive and trip overall than like driving to Minneapolis on like. I mean, you're going 75, 80, you're getting past like you're standing still too when you get close to like real close to Minneapolis, St. Paul, which we like to say the cities. We call them the cities with a capital C, the Twin Cities. But I've been to a lot of good concerts in the cities over the years. So I've missed that. I've missed going to see like Minnesota Twins baseball games. So we're going to make up for it. We can finally do all this shit again, you know?
Yeah, of course.
So so there's my rant about concerts. We've saved a shitload of money not going to concerts, but I really do miss it, you know. So
yeah, me too.
So
I'm starting to have little things here and there, little concerts here and there. I'm seeing David Byrne next week.
Oh shit! What? Where?
Yeah, so David Byrne is doing American Utopia, the Broadway production.
Yes.
This will be my second time seeing him do that.
Living in a big
great.
city.
I live in a smaller city outside the biggest city in
That's the way
America.
to do
I'm
it. That's
not,
the way to
yeah,
do
I
it.
don't live in New York. I'm not in
No,
Brooklyn. I'm in
no.
Jersey. Um, David Byrne, that show is phenomenal.
I
There is the
bet
HBO special, so you could
there is.
watch it
Yeah.
on HBO.
We
Like
haven't
you're
watched
not,
that yet. We saw him on SNL when he was on. I think he did a few songs from that.
yeah.
Yeah, that was just wild. I've always loved him and the Talking Heads. They're just
I
so out
highly
there.
recommend this.
Yeah,
I totally recommend it. I wanted to go again, but the Broadway theaters are vaccine mandate and
sure.
mask.
Yep,
So it should be,
it
it should be pretty
should be good.
safe in that
Yeah,
regard.
and kudos to them for actually giving a shit to do that.
Yeah, and New York, like New York people won't play around. If someone is
Yeah,
there and they've got their mask off, you will have 5 New Yorkers going, "Are you fucking kidding me? Put
that's
that
awesome.
fucking mask on. I'm gonna put it on myself." And the ushers in New York
Yeah.
don't play. They will take a flashlight, they will shine that shit in your face. They're like,
Wow.
"No, no. Did you just check the time on your cell phone? No." And they will shine that shit right in your
I
face.
love
That's
it.
why I go in there, I turn my phone off.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. I don't want to get yelled at by an usher.
No,
I definitely have like
nobody
issues
wants
where
that.
I need adult approval. Like I need
Yeah,
authority approval in my life. And
sure.
so I'm like, I don't want to get yelled at by some like 60-year-old man named Raymond who's been working here for 45 years. Like
I
no
love
one
it.
in the world has more authority than Raymond the usher who's at the friggin'
So
music box or the
specific.
Belasco.
I
Yeah,
love it.
like
Raymond.
I don't want to get yelled at by Raymond or
Sure.
any of them.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
So I'm seeing
Wow.
David Byrne next week. I'm excited. Oh
I'm
my
jealous.
God. I'm seeing David Byrne and I'm
Mhm.
seeing Joyce Manor the next day
What the hell? You're just
in
like
Central
so.
Park.
You're just
But
like, I
listen,
get to
I
see
didn't leave the
celebrity. It's
house for
fine.
16 months.
I
I
didn't
worked from
either. Yeah.
home.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't leave the damn house. So
Yeah.
I'm
That's a long fucking
starting.
time. Key one. So I was my next question kind of already covered it, but was besides yourself, what are some artists or bands that you want other people to know about? We kind of went through a couple of those, but is there anyone else you can think of that
Yeah,
enough people
sure.
know about?
Shannen Moser was definitely
Mm-hmm.
one that I mentioned, and Soul Glow was one that I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned. Trying to think of Friends projects that I really
Sure.
like now. And as my son is distracting me by nuzzling against the computer, Lugosi, please with this. Um, damn. Damn. Oh, well, I mean, always, I mean, they're much bigger than I
Mm-hmm.
would ever be, but Prawn out of New
Oh,
Jersey.
mm-hmm.
Like, Prawn was, they're on Top Shelf. They're like one of my high school bands. I've seen them a
Nice.
million and seven
That's awesome.
goddamn times. Yeah, they're my buddies.
Nice. Very cool.
Good old war. Again, Good Old War is like huge, but
What?
some people haven't heard them.
Good Old
Yeah,
War?
Good
What
Old
the
War is
fuck?
my favorite band. I've seen them 18 times
Holy
in 3
shit.
states. In 3
I
states.
I thought I truly thought no one else really knew about them, and it was a shame. And I still think that. But my wife and I, we saw them open for Dispatch in Minneapolis, like
I
probably
saw that tour.
fuck.
Mhm.
How many years ago was that? Do you think 9 or 10, 8 or 9?
I was in college, so probably like 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I
saw them
saw
at
them in Philly.
the Orpheum Theater in the Twin Cities, and like I went out. We bought like a couple of Good Old War CDs at the show. I'm like, these guys are awesome. Like
They're incredible.
their harmonies,
They are
ridiculous.
maybe the tightest live band that I've ever
Yeah,
seen, which is why I've seen them. I've seen them in Philly.
Yeah.
I saw them the first time I saw them in Philly. So I love Anthony Green.
Yep.
Anthony Green, Circus Survive, Good Old
Mhm.
War was his touring band basically, and they just started kind of writing their own stuff.
I
So
did not know that.
that's why Anthony is on the first album. He does Weak Man.
Mm,
And I
wow.
saw them at this very small bar in Philly, North Star Bar, which is which is no longer
Aw,
open, I guess. I think it's something else, unfortunately.
that
I actually
sucks.
interned there. Yeah, so I
Wow.
was sad to hear that.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
But the first time I saw Good Old War, I was really excited because I had
Mhm.
liked them before I saw them. And then
Okay,
Anthony
so
ran
you
up on
knew.
stage as a surprise to do his Weak Man verse. And I've seen
What?
Anthony run up on stage and do that as a surprise like 2 or 3
Oh,
times.
sure. That's really cool.
Yeah, and I was a freshman. I was 18. I was very
Mhm.
new to going to concerts by
Sure.
myself, not with like family and
Yeah.
friends, and it's supervised. My mom's in the parking lot picking me up. Like this was like
Right?
a big girl concert that I
That's
went
so
to.
cool.
And Anthony hops off the stage. I had my like DSLR camera because I was doing a lot of concert photography during college, and I was like the photo editor of my school paper.
Cool.
And Anthony hops off the stage, makes a beeline to me, and I'm like, like straight guppy mouth, just like, and he's like, let me see the photo. He's like, let me see the photos. I'm like, oh my God, okay, like here. And he's like, those are real. He's like, those are really good. And I was like, oh my God,
that's
like
awesome.
Every time I've met Anthony, he's been a doll and a half.
Yeah,
he's
so
wonderful.
Cool.
But yeah, Good Old War is literally my favorite band of all time. Listeners of the pod, if you like sickeningly beautiful harmonies,
the most beautiful.
If you like some random accordion solos,
I do.
If you like Weezer, Good Old War has a great cover of My Name is Jonas.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So they're great.
I can't believe you, first of all, know who Good Old War is, and secondly, that they're your favorite band. That's incredible.
Like, they know who I am, which embarrasses me to no end. Like, it's not only that I know who they are, they know who I am. Like,
it's amazing.
I took a picture that Keith apparently loves, and I saw them in at Rough Trade in Brooklyn, which is a really cool venue.
Yeah.
And I went and like they were signing their new album, and I went over. I was like, "Hey, Keith," and he's like, "I know you." And I'm like,
"What?
Why do you know?" Well, I was like, "Why do you know me?" He's like, "You took my favorite picture of the band." And it was like, what they do is after their shows, like if they're headlining a show and it's a small enough venue, they finish their set, they get in the audience, and they do an acoustic encore surrounded by the audience. So one or two of them will have guitars, and they'll sing, and we all just kind of sing around them, and it's really great.
Damn.
And at the end of one of them, and I think it was maybe when I saw them in Hoboken at Maxwell's, rest in peace.
Yeah, that closed?
Like Maxwell's closed, which infuriated me.
I even know Maxwell's. I've never been there, but I know of
Maxwell's was a nightmare situation because the venue was great. I got to see Prawn there. I got to see my friends' bands there. That was a huge privilege.
Wow.
Then we found out Maxwell's was closing. I saw Titus Andronicus did like 3 nights there. I was at 2 of them. The drummer like brought me down to like sign my name. There was this big wall where all of the artists had like signed their names. So the drummer was like, "Come on down." Like, I know some people that they know, and he was like, "Come with us and write your name on the wall." And I was like, "Oh, I'm writing my name on history."
Cool.
They closed. Then they reopened.
What?
But they had a really shitty like promoter, and they were booking all of these artists that none of us wanted to see. It was like very easy listening, like, this guy with a guitar, like not cool punk bands, not cool underground bands.
You can't change the vibe of a venue and expect it to succeed. That's insane.
It didn't last. Like Maxwell's 2.0 didn't last. But
what?
Yes. So when I saw Good Old War there, it was Good Old War. Anthony Green was there. He did like a surprise. He ran up and surprised everybody, and everybody lost their shit. And at the end of the acoustics encore set, Keith and the boys like put their heads together like this, and I got a picture. So it's just like their hair, but they're very clearly like wrapped in this really sweet embrace. And that's Keith's like favorite photo. He's posted it on their Instagram. So he recognized me, and I was like so mortified because I was like, you should not know who I am. I'm too much of a fan if you know who I am. I should not be that like freak girl that's at every show and they're like, oh, like that's Tara. She's just like, they're not Fish. It doesn't make sense to follow any band around that's not Fish. But yeah, they are my number one favorite.
That's incredible. I love that so much. What a small musical world we live in, that's your favorite band. And I actually knew the band. They're not that big.
Yeah, I'm impressed that you knew them because they're like, I mean, they've toured nationally, but they're like, I lived in Philly, and they're a Pennsylvania-based band.
Right, and they just never have gotten as big as they should have, which is too bad. Like they have obviously a good fan base, but it's like they should be bigger than they are. It's like I
was very excited. They were on A Million Little Things. They weren't on it like acting on it. They had one of their songs on it, and I was like so happy because I was like, "Oh, my boys are getting those great royalty checks."
I forgot about that. They were on there, weren't they? I like that show.
I think their fan base is very casual though. Like they have they have fans like me, but every time I'm at the shows, it's like 21-year-old kids in Sperry loafers and their girlfriends.
Yeah.
Like it's a very, like, they have a very preppy, casual kind of fan base that I see a lot.
Yeah.
And then there are people like me who you can tell are like super into it. But I think because the fan base is so casual, it's not like pushing them over, to use sort of wrestling parlance. Like, they're not getting over because the fans aren't die hard enough.
Okay, that makes sense. I like
I love them.
The Sperry loafers reference. That's good. Like,
yeah, thank you.
The Sperry loafers, the too short shorts on the dudes. I don't know why.
I like a short on a dude. I do. I like a short on a dude. But I'm fine with like a booty short. If you have, even if you don't have good legs, if you feel
have
like
to have good legs.
Off,
you have to have good quads.
You
like
do. Showing it off, I think you should be able to show it off. I mean, not going to yuck anyone's short pants off here.
Not everyone's Milo Ventimiglia in shorts, all right? Not everyone.
Did you like look me up? Because I posted about that photo for
I've seen the photo,
a week and a half.
No, I did not see that. I know of the photo because it's like, that was kind of like you knew short shorts were like officially back.
Oh baby, I was like, this is like the man of my goddamn dreams. Also, that's what I dress like in the summer. Like it's muscle tee, tiniest shorts you can find.
It's fine on a girl.
Yeah.
It's
fine on anyone.
I know, but I feel like for me, I'm not wearing like baggy shorts. I mean, I wear like, slimmer like skate shorts that aren't super long. Like, they're like above the knee, but they're not like 8 inches above the knee. I'm not wearing like a 5-inch inseam,
So you're not doing Kevin Smith's denim brand for Walmart. But
where they go to his shins.
You're not doing like.
I'm not doing cargo shorts. No.
You're not doing cargo shorts.
A long cargo.
Nor are you doing the Borat outfit or like the Richard Simmons hot pants special.
No.
Okay.
Between. No.
You're in the middle.
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
There's a wide spectrum there.
Yeah, there is.
I'm open to Richard Simmons. Like, I'm open to that energy.
Sequined running shorts? Yeah, I mean, it could work.
I'm pretty sure I have sequin shorts somewhere.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
That's me.
That's
they're black though. Everything is black.
Everything's black.
Yes.
So we've talked short shorts. What about mom jeans? I remember when mom jeans were hilarious, and that SNL commercial for mom jeans was funny. Now it's not funny anymore because mom jeans are still everywhere. Like, they came back and they just will not go away. No one looks good in mom jeans. I'm just going to put that out there. Nobody.
Here's my take. Not that my take is important because I'm not like a fashion house.
You're the guest.
But I like a very high-waisted jean. Mm-hmm. I do. What I do not like are these jeans that now are just like boot cut or straight leg jeans. Mm-hmm. Like, all of the 18-year-old girls that I know will wear like a little crop top and a jean that is high-waisted, acid washed, goes straight down with those ugly fucking Reebok sneakers that we all wore when we were 5. I hate this look. And those Reebok sneakers now cost like $350 because they're Yeezys. And I'm like, I hate this. Give me a cool looking fucking sneaker.
Yes.
Converse, did Converse go out of style?
No, they shouldn't have. Give me anything that Vans makes for sneakers.
I wear a checkerboard Van almost every day.
All the time. I have like a million pairs of Vans. I'm never going to buy dorky, chunky dad Reeboks or New Balance. No. They're ugly as shit. And not to mention, like when like the sole is this thick, I'm tripping on everything. I don't care who you are.
Oh, I'm sure.
New Balance, but I'm tripping on everything. And like the sole sticks out, like angle.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is the front view of it. It's like sticking out. Who's wearing these things? I will
never wear. I know people who love that style. The big jean, like the big 90s jean. Now, if I'm doing like a mom jean, and I say this in quotes, it's high-waisted. It's a little blousey. Let's say it's a little blousey, but then it kind of comes to a close at the bottom, and I cuff it a little bit.
You have to.
I can't do these big jeans.
It pisses me off because like all the denim companies are like purposely making things come back that should not come back. Like, remember when skinny jeans first came back, everyone rejected them. Then everyone took them on under their wing. And then now, like, and then after that, it was like mom jeans that are also skinny jeans. And like, they made mom cool again to sell more jeans. Like, that's obviously what their job is, but like,
they're selling more denim.
Yes.
They're going to charge more for that extra 2 inches of denim.
You can't safely buy jeans that'll be in style in like 2 years. You know, it's I don't care. I just wear whatever's comfortable, you know. But it's just I don't. It's sad to me that the mom jeans sketch isn't funny anymore to everyone. It should be still hilarious. Like with the luxurious 9-inch zipper.
It's not my look.
Everyone's got a 9-inch zipper now, you know, and everyone's butt looks just flat in jeans. I will say I do the high-waisted. Hello. Those are fine.
Hi.
She's trapped out of there. We got French doors in between because otherwise she ends up like she wants me to hold her when I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, what I don't get is like the real high-rise jeans that Levi's calls them ribcage jeans. Like, they literally come up to your ribcage.
Oh.
Like, have you heard of these? When we get off this,
I will look them up. I don't know.
I still make them, but they're ridiculous, and they're the exact thing you were explaining, where they just go straight down, and then they don't go all the way to your shoe. They have to show off your chunky dad shoes, and it looks terrible. It looks like
that's the problem. Yes,
on your body is like shifted up 8 inches. Like, it's 8 inches higher.
It's not a capri. It's just
it's too short. It's just a pair of jeans that are too short.
It's not my style. I have a lot of friends who have.
By the way, just get off my lawn too.
Yeah, because it didn't look good on us. The thing is, the kids who are wearing these and who are wearing a lot of the '90s sort of athleisure looks, they are able to have like great hairstyles, full face of beautiful makeup because they learned it on YouTube.
Yes.
When I was a kid, I was wearing these jeans, these ugly fucking sneakers, and a fucking Aeropostale t-shirt with the goddamn 3 monkeys doing the Charlie's Angels pose. I didn't get to, so that's
specific.
A fucking
I love it.
Trauma memory. That's a fucking trauma memory for you. I was like just too chunky to look good in an Abercrombie and Fitch tank top, which, by the way, nothing came in black.
No,
I was beholden to color. Everything was ugly fucking lime green, Aeropostale. Here's my fucking little monkey on the t-shirt. Everything had the brand, huge brand, Aeropostale, Abercrombie and Fitch. Hollister the fucking seagull shit on everything.
Vertical Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh my god, Hollister written down. Hollister. I saw someone wearing a shirt like that the other day, like a t-shirt that just had Hollister written down. And I was like, oh, we can't bring this back. Please tell me this is coming back with the... We're so close.
It didn't go away for them.
We're so close to dismantling capitalism.
Yeah.
We can't... Oh, the thing that gets me nuts, Nate, is when I'm on, like, let's say I'm on Forever 21's website.
Sure.
They will have, like...
As you often are.
Yeah, they'll have, like, a Pepsi collection where it's a bunch of T-shirts that have, like, the Pepsi logo. And I'm like we are...
The new one, or the cool old one, or the shitty new one? The newer one. The one that looks like...
Maybe different...
Sailboat.
Maybe 80s style, maybe current style.
I like the one with the swirl, like swoopy swirl in it. The classic.
But would you, like... I can't fathom buying a T-shirt that has a brand on it. Now, maybe something
Pepsi.
Like a band, like a musical act that I like, or a movie. Like, I love, do you know Super Yaki?
Do I know who?
They're Super Yaki with a Y. They are a shop that sells all merchandise based off of movies, and it's their original artistic style. So like a girlfriend of mine is releasing a Grease 2 collection with them this week, and everybody's going nuts. They did a bowling shirt that looks like the Grease 2 bowling shirts. They did a Brendan Fraser collection this year. Yeah, my friend Courtney, I like kind of introduced. I was like, oh, Courtney, you should design for them, and now the collection.
And now she does.
It's really exciting.
Do you get royalties?
No, I'm gonna buy a shirt. I'm not even gonna ask for a free one. But it's really exciting. But yeah, I can't fathom like just putting. Pepsi, I don't know, Home Depot. Polaroid. Like Home Depot logo. Here's my movie T-shirt, but I'm not wearing like a Warner Brothers Studios T-shirt. I'm not wearing.
I love everything they do.
Right,
So
like
weird.
it does feel weird. I feel like we're this
It's
close. We've really tried.
It's a
We
stretch.
can break capitalism apart. We
Yes.
can with our hands and fists and
Yes.
mallets, but not
Yes.
if we're going to go around wearing a Kodak
I was
brand
just gonna say
long sleeve
Kodak is another one I've
from
seen.
Forever 21.
Kodak, like not necessarily Fujifilm yet. I haven't seen that. Polaroid I've seen, but why are you buying a Pepsi shirt? I don't give a shit about Pepsi.
I don't
It tastes
understand.
like shit.
I can't understand the concept of just wearing like
That should be a giveaway shirt at like a ball game.
Sunoco. The
Yeah.
Sunoco gas station collection.
What?
What are we doing here? Why?
Who is this for? Who's this audience? Who is the audience for this shit? You know?
Like Instagram models. I don't know.
I guess.
You know.
Why
Oh,
is
it's
that
cute.
a thing?
Everybody knows Pepsi.
Yay, Pepsi.
You know.
Like Pepsi? Why not Coca-Cola? It's way more classic.
I'm going to tell you something else that's going to blow your fucking mind. I don't drink soda. I don't drink soda. And
Wow.
I have
literally
have drank soda 3 times in my life.
Huh?
Yeah, I know.
Did you grow up in a cult or like what's happening here?
No, I guess if I drink something and I don't like it, I just don't
you never try it again.
No, I think I've had soda like 3 times and again on accident. Like it was I wanted Hedy Orange and I got orange soda and this is gross.
What kinds have you had? What kind of soda? Also, we call it pop in the Midwest. We're weird, but we'll call it soda.
I think pop is cute.
Soda. Well, it's the reason why it's called that is because when you open a soda, it makes the popping sound back in the day, and so it's the soda. It's the soda pop. Yeah.
Perfect. It makes perfect sense to me.
Does.
Bubbles pop.
Yeah,
it's carbonated. It makes sense. It's not a weird phrase.
Yeah,
but
it is.
I've had orange soda, and I've probably had like Coke or Pepsi.
Okay.
And I was like, not for me.
You've never had the deliciousness that is a Dr. Pepper or a Cherry Coke?
I have not had a Dr. Pepper. I've not had a vanilla Coke. I've not had a cherry Coke. I've not had it. I don't like the bubbles. I don't drink champagne either. Like I don't like carbonation. I don't drink LaCroix.
So you don't drink LaCroix.
What is it? Are you a LaCroix? Is it a LaCroix?
Well, since LaCroix is something that's named after something close to kind of where I live up in the Midwest, it is LaCroix.
Okay.
People that call it LaCroix. It's not. I don't think it's French. I think it's a Native American term, LaCroix. It's I think it's actually a band of Native American. Yeah, I think it is.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay, that changes my whole relationship to this brand. I will support them if that's the case.
Sure.
If it's some fucking rich French guy who's like, oh, I want to do the pamplemousse. Yeah, like no.
No, it's the Lac, L-A-C, and then L-A and Croix. LaCroix.
Yeah.
First Nation. Whoops. Damn it. Where'd it go? God dang it.
Okay.
It's also a type of pony. LaCroix, that Lac LaCroix Indian pony is a rare breed from Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
LaCroix First Nation is Saltu First Nation band government who reside in the Rainy River district of northwestern Ontario, Canada, along the Ontario-Minnesota border. So yeah, very close to where I am. It's called Lac LaCroix though. That added.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
All right. Learning new things today.
American history and
well, thank you.
Beverage history as well.
Thank you so much, my Fargo friend.
I'm happy to help.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So what other juicy questions do you have for me here?
Juicy questions do I have for Sweaty Lamarr or Tara, Gian Caspero? I got it.
Yes, you
got it.
I
hesitated there.
You got it though. You did.
That's all that matters. Whew. Okay, next question for Tara is drum roll. Oh yeah, this is fun. I don't know if you remember it, but what is the last song that you stayed in your car to finish when you got to your destination? What is the last song you finished? You had to stay in your car. What kept you in your car?
Yeah, let's see, because I so rarely hear things on the radio that I'm really invigorated by. Right. Although I can give you an answer because it was from the radio.
Nice.
I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
U2. Great song. That
song just like opens up my heart.
Yeah, it's a great song. You can't cut off Bono like that. That's so rude.
No, I'm not going to do that to Bono.
I'm not going to do that to Bono.
The thing with like my...
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, the thing with my phone these days is if I'm playing music on my phone, I can just kind of, pause it for a second and then plug it in my earbuds and walk home with it or whatever. But
Yeah. It's
No,
a
if
whole
that's not
different thing now. It used to be
yeah.
more of a thing. Like, oh, I'm going to stay in the car to finish this song.
Finish
Because you
the
couldn't
Spice
just
Girl
go,
song that came on.
yeah, you couldn't just dial up a song just out of thin air and listen to it whenever you wanted, like we can
Yeah.
now. We were not spoiled back then. I do.
That's a good question though.
Thank you. I thought of it because the last time I did it was a Billy Idol song, listening to the 80s on 8 on Sirius, which
Okay.
we don't pay for Sirius. We have a trial thing. My wife got a different car and it had a trial of Sirius with it. And like, I'm getting addicted to like the 80s on 8 on there. But it was Dancing with Myself by Mr. William Idol. And I
Oh,
stayed
an
in the car for that.
excellent
Yeah.
song.
It's a great song. It's fun. It's just, it's campy, but it's fun. And I stayed in the car till it was done, by God.
He is incredible. I would love to see him.
Right?
He is not only my like favorite film cameo ever because the wedding,
Yeah,
like,
Wedding
when he shows
Singer.
up with the wedding
Yeah,
singer,
oh my
it's
God.
perfect.
So
But
funny.
he did a great. Miley Cyrus put out that album recently, and
Mhm.
it's all like 80s rock. He does a
Yes.
gorgeous song with her. It's fantastic. I definitely recommend
Oh,
that.
damn. You know, I forgot about that album. I have not listened to that yet. And
It's really good.
it got my attention when it came out and I forgot to check it out. So thank you for that
It's
reminder.
like that's a strong recommendation. It's
Yeah.
sincerely very good, and her collaborations on it, like Dua
Mhm.
Lipa, the Joan Jett one, like
Oh yeah. I've heard
fantastic.
the Joan Jett one. What the hell is a Dua Lipa? Who is Dua Lipa?
Dua Lipa
Like,
is
I've heard the
she's
name, but I have no idea anything about Dua Lipa.
Albanian. She's
Okay.
an Albanian singer.
Okay.
Um, you've heard her songs on the like I'm
Yep,
sure
for
if you've
sure.
been in a Walmart or a
I
Walgreens
haven't.
or
We,
anything.
I tell you what, we've been using Instacart throughout the entire pandemic, and I don't think we're gonna
Hey,
ever go
okay.
back to go and get groceries. It's been really slick. My wife has to eat gluten free, so she has to go to like 4
Okay.
stores to get everything she needs. So like
Yeah.
it just saves a lot of headache and time having someone else bring us our damn
Yeah.
groceries. And
I
it's not
get that.
it's a convenience thing too, obviously. Because having to go to like 4 or 5 different stores all around town to get all the gluten-free shit we need, it's a lot of time involved,
Oh.
you know. It's a whole
Yeah, I can imagine.
so it's
I
been
have
been a really great addition to our repertoire of things we use.
yeah. I have a soy allergy, so I
Oh
relate. And then
damn.
I'm
Yeah.
constantly like everything I
Yeah.
pick up, I'm
Yep.
like,
It's a replacement for
nope,
everything. Yeah, it's like they replace
nope.
everything with soy, it feels like.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
that's a rough one. Huh.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's
I've
all
made
right.
do.
You've made
Soy
it.
and hazelnut. So I can never have Nutella again.
How
But I
how
can have like
random is that
walnuts
though?
and peanuts and almonds,
Yeah.
but I just can't have
But not
hazelnuts.
those fucking hazelnuts will get you. That's
And
weird.
I'm Italian, so like I'm supposed to be
Yeah,
able to have Nutella
you're supposed to.
by birth.
It's like a rule. You're born into eating Nutella. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. Well, I'm glad you remember the last song you stayed in the car for. It's a great
Yes.
song. Next question.
Okay.
What song makes you cry?
Ooh. Let's see. There's a beautiful song. It's called Ashes by Embrace. That's
Okay.
lovely. I definitely heard it in there was like a 9/11 movie and they played that in
really?
the trailer. Yeah, and I
Oh,
was like,
damn.
"Oh, this is gorgeous."
Sucked you in.
What else? A song just like made me cry very recently, and I'm trying to think of which one it was. It was
Sure.
very recently, and I was just like, "Oh, my little heart, my little black heart in
My
here."
little black COVID heart.
Yeah.
I mean, no pressure. If it comes to you, you know.
No. Oh, I know what it was.
Okay.
Anne Brun. I don't even know if I'm saying her name right because it's Ane Brun. She does a version of "Make You Feel My Love."
Oh, damn.
Sort of inspired by the Adele version, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's very stripped down. It was in Normal People, the Hulu show, and I'm obsessed with the book Normal People.
Okay.
Well,
that sounds familiar. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably in my
Anne's
list.
version of "Make You Feel My Love"
Nice.
got me a little misty lately.
So now, okay, is that originally a Garth Brooks song, or did someone else do it before him? Do you know?
So someone, I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna open my phone in front of you. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Someone
No, that's
had
fine.
said that they were like talking about Adele, and they were like talking about covering Bob Dylan. So
oh yeah, it is Bob Dylan.
It's Bob Dylan.
It is.
But
you're right.
for the life of me, I mean, I'm sure I've heard it,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't heard it in years,
Yeah,
and I forget what it sounds like.
Same.
So I'm gonna have to go listen to the Bob Dylan version. And I love Bob Dylan. Or,
he's great.
You know, I had a huge, like, a 30 by 40 size poster in my bedroom of Bob Dylan when I was in high school. But for some reason, I've forgotten that version exists.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Because when I was asking you about the Garth Brooks part of it, I was thinking, like, I know it's someone else, but I just couldn't remember who. It wasn't like a question of, I guess it was a question of, was it him originally or not at first? But then I was like, no, it's someone else before, but I can't remember who the hell it was. But yeah, I'm going to definitely have to look that one up and listen to that one.
That song is gorgeous, and the way that they use it on the TV show. I'm obsessed with needle drops on TV shows. I'm obsessed with, like, my dream job would be a music supervisor on a TV show where I'm like,
we have a lot in common. We have a lot in common.
To be electric. You got to put this song in there. Like, as I've been writing my novel and hoping that it could be a TV show someday.
Nice.
I already know, like, okay, this moment should be underscored by this song. Like, I already have the soundtrack in mind.
What's your book? Do you have a title? Do you have a working title on your book? I forgot to ask you.
Yes, it's called Pleasure to Assist.
Oh, I like that. It could be taken a bunch of different ways, I feel like.
Well, that's the point.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, hey. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, another song that kind of opened up the old tear ducts.
Yeah.
Adam Melcher. Yes, Adam Melcher did a cover of You Belong to Me by the Duprees.
Nice.
Gorgeous. I don't think he like released it, but it's on YouTube. I'm signed up. He's a musician from Jersey.
Sure.
And he has like this lullaby hotline where every week he sends, if you sign up for his text alerts, every week you get a link to an unlisted YouTube video.
Whoa.
And it might be an original song he wrote. Cool. It might be a cover. It might be a collaboration he did with a friend. I kind of know Adam, so when I saw this, I was like, oh, of course I'm going to like sign up for this thing. But he did that on YouTube, and I love that song.
Cool. So you told me a song that I can't listen to and cry to.
I will find the link for you.
Yes.
I will get it to you.
Awesome. Well, let's see. The song that I cry to is All Your Favorite Bands by Dawes. Do you know that song?
Dawes is great. Yes. Who did I see Dawes open for? I saw Dawes open for a weird.
Really?
I saw Dawes open for ELO.
What?
Yes.
When and where? How weird is that?
A couple years ago, maybe 2018 or 2019. I saw ELO. Wow. Yeah. At Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden.
Wait a second.
I went.
Hold on. ELO can still play Madison Square Garden?
Oh, it was one of the top 5 best shows of my life. Really? And as you can tell, I go to a lot of concerts. I was not a huge ELO person. Like Mr. Blue Sky, yes, I love, and I know Evil Woman. I know these songs.
The classics.
My uncle really wanted to go, and my uncle is the person who got me into music. He was the one who gave me my first Beatles CD.
Nice.
You know, my uncle was very formative. I went to see Billy Joel with him. Like, he got me into my classic artists that I love. And he really wanted to see ELO, and my mom was like, you know, he's your godfather. Why don't we buy him tickets to go with you? Because, you know, we like to go get dinner and go to a show, and like that's when we hang out. So we went. He was really excited. I was like, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. I was like, yeah, I'll enjoy it. They had a huge, like, accompanying, you know, they had all of these. It's an orchestra. They had all of these people singing. They had every instrument you could imagine on the stage. And there were songs that I didn't even know. And I'm like surprised that I was ignorant to this. Songs that I didn't know that were ELO songs.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I know this song. Oh, I like this song. Okay. Everybody sounded fantastic.
Wow.
The stage looked great. They very thoughtfully curated a visual experience that made sense. It immediately shot to one of the top 5 best shows of my life.
That's cool.
I was stunned. Like, my top 5 list prior to that point had been, you know, Bruce Springsteen playing for 4 hours at MetLife Stadium.
There's too many songs.
He could have gone on for another 3 hours. He has enough material.
Insane.
The Spice Girls, when they got back together in like 2006.
Awesome.
a very eclectic mix of and then somebody at the First Unitarian Church in Philly, like my friend's band finally getting to open for this artist they love, like very random, and ELO just like shot in there, and I was like, wow, they're not even a top 5 favorite band for me. Like, it's not like, just objectively an incredibly tight concert.
Damn.
Yeah, I came away more of a fan. That's
so cool. Do you think it had more to do with like you just bonding with your uncle too, or was that a big part of it?
That was a great part of it, but we've gone to, I've seen like every classic artist with him. We saw Neil Diamond before he retired. Nice. I love Neil Diamond. I love Neil Diamond so much. I have do you know King Diamond?
I know of
the
King
metal
Diamond.
Okay. I have a t-shirt that's it's Neil Diamond with the King Diamond face makeup, like the very intense face makeup. And it just says like King Neil Diamond on it. Amazing. And I saw the shirt online and I could not stop laughing because I always, every time I look at it in my closet, I think of like the King Diamond, Welcome Home, like, Grandma, what was it like when you first heard Sweet Caroline? And I sing that every time I sing the part because I'm a fucking idiot, Nate. Every time I see that shirt, I have to break my fucking microphone here to sing that because I do it at full volume.
I love it. You have to. How else would you even do it? You couldn't. Yeah, right? Hilarious.
But yeah. Wow. So I've seen like everything with him, but that was just another great moment for us. I saw Paul Simon with him when Paul Simon like retired. Amazing. Yeah. He's been playing shows though. I feel lied to.
Oh my God. My wife and I were supposed to see freaking Simon and Garfunkel with my mom and dad and my grandma in Fargo, and then stupid Garfunkel had something wrong with his throat and then never rescheduled it.
Fucking Garfunkel.
Yes.
You should go see Garfunkel and Oates instead. Do you know them?
I do. I should definitely go see them. I wish I could.
I like them a lot.
Yeah, they're fun.
Their show was really cute. They did that little show.
I'm sure.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah. Their actual show, not like
their TV show. Yeah, they did like a little TV show, kind of sitcom.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Felt very like Sarah Silverman program, Dimitri Martin-ish, just kind of like, we're quirky.
Quirky, the quirky fun thing. It doesn't get old though. It doesn't get old, like the quirky thing.
No, because it was a very short run. Like it wasn't 5 seasons. It was just a small bank of episodes.
It was enough. Okay.
But
yeah. Well, cool. So I know you're very active on Instagram with interacting with people and asking about things they're into. I know recently I don't remember did anyone win the competition of the best 80s teen comedy? Like who was the top?
I never give a winner. Okay. I never give a winner because like, first of all, I'm not giving out prizes. Like I'm not running. I'm not running to the store and like mailing these people prizes.
Here's a Visa gift card.
Yeah, no. It's just like, it's just that everyone gets to compete and the winners, like I will kind of message people and be like, oh my God, this one got so many responses. Sure. Like you kind of did win if
we're keeping track.
Message me and they're like, oh my God, I love this movie, or oh, I really want to see this now. The one I did today, I did an Instagram prompt today, which was the love of your life is running through the airport to confess their feelings for you. And that doesn't have a winner, but a lot of people have been very energized and they messaged me like,
that's good.
This one really made me think. And I was like, oh, okay, that's great. That's why I'm doing this. It's something fun for us. It's for sure. I get to know them. They get to know me. They get to maybe know a part of themselves. I have a couple more prompts that I'm thinking of that I'll drop in a couple weeks that I think people will really, really, really enjoy.
Nice. So what's your airport song? I don't remember seeing what yours was.
I put 5. I put 5. May by the Gaslight Anthem.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did see that. I did. Yeah.
There's the song Dice that was used in the OC in this incredible moment where they do have a slow motion run and a kiss. Let's see. I'm going to pull it up right now and I can tell you mine. Let's see. Doing it. Okay. I have Dice. I have True North by the Devin Townsend Project, which is an incredibly symphonic metal song.
Oh, wow.
So I guess very quickly running in the airport.
Sure.
Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer,
Classic.
because that song is just a classic
Yeah,
love
it is.
song.
It's a classic.
May by the Gaslight Anthem.
Yep.
And then there's
Great.
a song called Wake Up, Wake Up, Wake Up by Pascal. It's PAS/CAL.
Okay.
That must be a song that I got into because I heard it on Grey's Anatomy when I was in the 7th grade. A lot of my musical taste can be credited to what I heard on Grey's Anatomy in the 7th grade, and the OC and One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
Those 3 shows defined 75% of my musical tastes.
Sure. Another one I'd like to add in there is Scrubs had a great soundtrack too. Did you ever watch Scrubs?
Yes. Yeah, I did. A Bad Dream by Keane.
Yes, just Keane in general.
Ripped my throat out. Yeah,
what happened to Keane? Where did they go?
I don't know, but they just had Somewhere Only We Know on Ted Lasso, and I was so excited.
They did, yes.
Because it was used perfect. Like, that song always makes
That's a great song.
That's a good slow motion running through the airport kind of song, because it's it sweeps you up.
I feel like Snow Patrol is another band I lost track of. Snow Patrol.
They still tour.
They're still around.
I met a new coworker. They just opened for somebody?
Well, no, this is a couple of years ago. I was working at a venue in town, the Fargo Dome, and Snow Patrol opened for them, and I cannot for the life of me remember who it was. I think this seems weird, but I want to say they opened for Ed Sheeran. I'm not sure.
That actually makes perfect sense to me.
I think
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I met a new coworker, and we were talking about he showed up in a T-shirt that was Lara Flynn Boyle on Twin Peaks, and then it was like done in pink and black, and then it said "Heaven knows I'm miserable now," and I laughed so hard. I was like, "Buddy, who are you, and where did you get this shirt?" And we just started talking about concerts back and forth all day.
That's amazing.
I was like, "Who are you going to see this year?" And the first band he said was Snow Patrol, and I was like,
"Wow,
oh yeah, I would totally go see them."
Yeah, I lost track of them after their second album, but their first 2 albums are great.
They're still touring.
Yeah,
they're still making music.
I just lost track of them though. It's weird. It's funny how that happens. Though. You're kind of into someone, I was kind of into them casually. I had both their albums, the first ones, and listened to them, and then I just kind of stopped listening for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Sometimes you latch on to a band and the names of all the members.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the name of a single person in Snow Patrol. Mm-mm. I will admit that. I would go see them. I can't tell you the name of a single guy in that band.
Yeah, me either.
It could be 5 chicks. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Who even knows?
But yeah, sometimes you latch on, sometimes you don't. There are a lot of bands that I've fallen off with, and I'm like, why didn't I go listen to their new stuff? And then I'll try to, make the effort to listen in.
So what's your favorite 80s teen movie? Getting back to the 80s.
My picks would have been, because it was sort of teen movie in general. A lot of people went for the 80s because I guess like that's our era. Age range, like 80s, 90s. Ferris Bueller for me.
Check.
Huge. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Check.
Huge. And Bring It On might be my third.
Yeah? Oh, wow.
I love Bring It On. I could quote Bring It On all day.
I haven't seen it in a while, but it's a solid movie. And they made like 8 sequels.
The first one is really good. I think I've only seen the first sequel, which I own on DVD and genuinely enjoy. Felicia Day is in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's a lot of the cast like didn't go into something huge, but I still see some of the people in that movie in other things. I'm like, from Bring It On 2.
Oh, yeah.
Or Bring It On Again, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah. The one that half the people that saw the first one saw.
Yes. And then I, some people had said Grease, and I was like, Grease is not a teen comedy because everyone making that movie was 37 years old.
Yes.
Half of the extras in that cast had child support payments that they were putting their extra fees towards.
It'd be weird if they didn't. Yeah.
That could, it to me is not a teen comedy. First of all, it's a musical, which doesn't necessarily, there's just, if I think a teen comedy is straight teen comedy, Clueless. There are jokes, there are teens.
Yep.
End of list. Someone also said Back to the Future, and I was like, it's technically a comedy in that it has a happy ending. Like if you look at the old school comedy or drama Shakespearean, it is a comedy, and it has a teen, but I don't see it as a teen comedy.
No, and I saw that on Instagram
because
too.
There's one teen.
Yeah, there's only for
most of it.
Right. Yeah, weird. And there's a bunch of other teens, but they're just like in it a little bit. It's not like they're like main character.
Yeah.
I guess Biff is supposedly a teen. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not the case. No, Tom Wilson was like 85 at all times during
Tom Wilson is
that movie.
currently in a nursing home. No, he's not. He's not. So, do you want to do something like a rapid fire questionnaire thing, like the
Sure.
Marcel Proust questionnaire that James Lipton used to use at the Actor Studio?
Very into this. Yes, let's go.
It's 35 questions, so
I can handle it. I've got time.
You got this? All right, let's do it. All right, Tara, what is your idea of perfect happiness?
Success as you define it.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
And Pomeranians in sweaters.
Hilarious, lighthearted. What is your greatest fear?
I swear to God, sometimes it's like splitting my pants. It's never happened to me, but I'm genuinely worried it's going to happen.
No, it's definitely going to.
No!
Splitting my pants. I love that. What is the trait you most deplore in yourself? It's real lighthearted questions.
Yeah. Imposter syndrome.
When do you feel that way?
Literally every moment of my life, Nate.
You really do? Like you feel like you're
oh my God.
All the time?
Constantly. I'm like, I'm on this podcast. I'm like, I don't deserve to be on a fucking podcast. And I'm writing my lyrics. I'm like, I don't deserve to be writing fucking lyrics. Who the fuck am I? I don't deserve to be posting these Instagram stories to my followers. Why do I have 5,800 followers? I don't understand.
It's crazy. I like that.
Like, I have constant imposter syndrome about everything I do.
Huh. I wouldn't worry about it. We all have to be imposters at certain times in different situations too, just to try and fit with in a certain.
You're right.
You know, I feel like fake it till you make it is still a decent piece of advice in certain situations. You know,
yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. All of a sudden, it's like, well, I'm releasing an album now, and everybody was like, oh fuck, okay, all right, bitch, if you want.
If you need a graphic designer, I know one.
Okay, I will certainly keep that in mind.
But yeah, so what is the trait you most deplore in other people, in others?
I mean, it's obvious, like everyone's like racism, but genuinely willful ignorance.
Yes, which
choosing to not pick up a fucking book.
Yes, that covers a lot of other things too. That covers racism, willful ignorance. You're ignorant. I mean, it leads to a lot of other things. Let's see where we at here. Which living person do you most admire?
Living person. Damn, that's good. Oh, my mother, Fran Drescher.
Yes.
I always say that Fran is my mother. Fran is a survivor. She's a shrewd businesswoman. Yeah. She is now the president of SAG-AFTRA, which means she's very into unions. Yeah, she was just.
I didn't know that.
Or she won the primary, but I'm pretty sure. I think she won. Won. She was running with Anthony Rapp as secretary.
I like Anthony Rapp too. He's legit. Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes. What is your greatest extravagance?
Oh, my shoe collection.
Nice.
Oh God. I have like a shoezam in my bedroom.
What? A what? A shoezam?
Hold on, let me see. My bedroom is a fucking mess, but like
that's all right.
Can you see these shoe racks?
Yeah.
This isn't even close to being
from a store. Are those from like a store display, like those racks?
I found the shoe trees online. The shoes are from many different stores.
Sure. The racks look like a store from the 80s or something like.
I needed to, and I have a closet that's half full of them too.
Nice.
Not that I wear shoes most of the time these days, because guess what? We don't go anywhere.
I know. I'm like a shoe geek too, which I've only gotten into in the last 5 or 6 years, like mostly Vans, but a lot of other, just whatever I think looks cool. Like I like a lot of bright colors and patterns and shit. Like, I don't know if you can see my weird shirt. It's really,
I love it.
Yeah. Original, it's like washed out from my lights, but Original Penguin is like my favorite clothing brand. It's Monsonware, old. It's like the the logo is a little penguin. You can't see it on this pocket, but it's a little embroidered penguin. It's adorable. And
Oh,
the
very sweet.
company I believe has roots in Minnesota originally. Munsingwear made like underwear and long johns and long underwear and stuff like that back in the day.
Jawns.
It's like a golf brand too. Like they
Hmm.
made polo shirts for golfers in like the 50s. The brand kind of
Okay.
went stagnant till about, let's see, I don't know when it went stagnant, but they came back kind of starting in the early 2000s. They kind of relaunched the brand as Original Penguin.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a lot of their stuff. Some of their shoes, mostly Vans though. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so your extravagance is shoes, which is cool. But yeah, we can't wear them
Yes.
anywhere. We have all these cool shoes just
No.
sitting there by themselves, just collecting.
They've been
dust,
collecting dust. Mhm.
right?
Yep.
What what is your current state of mind? Ooh,
Working on clarity.
I like that. No explanation needed.
Thank you.
Working on clarity.
Thank you.
What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
Honestly, honesty.
Honestly, honesty.
Sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes you don't need to say a goddamn thing.
Yeah. And going along with that, on what occasion do you lie?
I would lie to protect the people I love, and I would lie like a motherfucker, you know.
I like that.
If it's protecting someone that I love, and
Yeah.
it's up to me to be like, does this need to hurt them? Does this need to be
Right.
out there? Does it need to be said? I would kill.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a good situation. It's a good situation to lie. Yeah. What do you most dislike about your appearance?
Damn.
Harsh, right? And they don't have like the what do you like about your appearance, but I'll ask you that one too after that.
What do you dislike about your appearance? Sometimes my eyebrows are uneven because it's you know, it's late and I'm running to the office and I'm like, ah, fuck, I gotta stencil this one on a little more.
And then
you know?
one of them, like if you're are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm left-handed.
You are. Wow.
I am.
So your left eyebrow always looks a little bit more put together than your right, or how does that work?
Or probably vice versa, you know, because it's. But
yeah.
I don't. It's not like I have no eyebrows and I have to draw them on to the listeners at home. It's just like I fill them in.
Yeah.
I could give you some like, you know, more gory things of like, oh, I don't like this little tiny scar that I have on my back.
Oh,
but
sure.
We're just gonna go with the eyebrows today.
Like that. Speaking of eyebrows, like when did like chisel tip permanent markers become a thing for eyebrows?
In the 90s. No, literally that was like
why
it happened in the 90s, but it was a thin Sharpie. It's a thick Sharpie.
Why is it like a fucking inch chisel tip now? It's like it looks like makeup on people. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Mom jeans.
I definitely went through a phase where mine were a little too dark, a little too filled in. Now I look back at photos from like 2013. I'm like, oh baby.
Already. Wow. Because I just started noticing it more in the last couple of years. I mean, North Dakota's a little behind the times, I feel like, but maybe I don't know. But for me, what's weird is you can always tell when they're real thick filled in. Like it doesn't look real at all. Like it's just like
it's a
black.
I'm much the type to like not look at someone's makeup presentation and be like, oh, not great. I think that we're in states of dynamic tension. It's like we either have very skinny jeans or people wear like leggings out in public, or they're wearing big like palazzo pants, mom jeans. We will eventually find a balance.
It's extremes.
That's how I feel. You either have very, very thin eyebrows or very, very thick eyebrows. We will find a balance.
There's no in between.
It will all work itself out.
It's either you're Eugene Levy or I don't know who else.
Or like my mother who has tweezed to the point where she has like no eyebrows left. My mom genuinely has like no eyebrows left, which is why I don't tweeze mine all that often.
That's so great.
Mine in. I'm like,
sure,
I'm not doing this.
That's so
That is my future. I don't want it.
I feel like you have a really healthy balance. Like your eyebrows aren't too thin, they're not too thick. You. Yeah, it's not like they're distracting. Like distracting when you look at them. So that's a plus.
Took time and practice, Nate.
I'm sure it did. I definitely believe it. All the stuff you have to know how to do and get good at is not fair. I feel like It's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
So, what living person do you most despise? A lot of these are very negative.
Ooh, fucking Joe Manchin.
I love it.
Fucking Joe Manchin.
Over
That's
everyone.
who I hate most.
Wow.
Yes, over.
I like
Yeah,
that
well, because I'm
choice,
not going
though.
to give you the full names of my ex-boyfriends.
Sure.
So, fucking Joe Manchin. Pick a damn side. I don't care which
Right.
one it is,
Mhm.
but you keep telling me you're a liberal, baby. You ain't.
Yeah, you ain't.
No.
I like it.
Pick a side. Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema both can kind of
Yeah, they
fuck
can
off
go
as far as
fuck
I'm concerned.
the hell off. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the quality you most like in a man? Eyebrows.
See, I could give you the funny answer and be like rich or yeah, whatever. Someone who is in therapy.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Yeah.
Good answer.
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with a good therapist.
It's like the Spice Girls always said.
They would say, because they are the type who do believe in growth.
Yes, they always wanted it that way.
Character.
What is the quality you dislike most in a woman?
I would have to say a woman who hates on other women.
There you go.
Internalized misogyny is a killer.
Supportive. Yeah, for sure. I like that. What words or phrases do you most overuse?
Fuck, for sure. I'm constantly
it's a good one, though.
cursing.
It's a good one, though.
Oh, a big one is when I just scream, "Oh, you got me fucked up." That's a big one for me.
Who do you scream that at? Yourself or friends?
If I'm talking or bullshitting with a friend or whatever, sure. I'm like, "Oh, you got me fucked up with this." I have words that I use. I don't know if I would say I overuse them, but I have like phrases that I've used that have caught on with other people.
Oh,
if I'm talking about a very fluffy animal, I don't say it's fluffy. Mm-hmm. I say it's fleefy. I always used fleefy because it's cuter, it's sweeter. Like this is like a Pomeranian. Picture a very fleefy Pomeranian. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
immediately.
I know. Not wearing a sweater this time.
No, just its own little sweater.
Its own little.
But in one of my best friends actually made an Urban Dictionary post for fleefy, and I cried. And like awesome. Friends of mine use fleefy.
That's amazing.
Also, instead of yeast, yees, I use yeast all the time. Yeast. And it's something that my best friend will use in talking to me. But then I learned that she uses it in talking to other people. And I was like, oh, no, wait, hold on. Oh, no. I'm going to single-handedly erode grammar and proper syntax. So I have, like, my own phrases that I use and my own kind of pronunciations and things that people have copied.
Yeah. The fact that it catches on is pretty cool too. Like if you like the word to begin with, it's cool if it catches on.
People love fleefy. A girlfriend of mine, Mallory, she has a very sweet little son, and he has he's pretty new. You know, he's like he's young. And his hair is still very frizzy and fly away. Yeah. And she'll post pictures of him, and she's like, like the fleef master is out of control again because of his fleefy hair. And I'm like, oh no! Like she doesn't even tag me; she just uses it as a word. And I'm like,
it's a thing. God, that's so good. I like that a lot. Fleefy.
Yeah.
What or who is the greatest love of your life, present or past?
My grandma. My grandma. She passed in February, and she's 99. I'm living. Thank you. I'm living in her apartment now.
That's why you moved. When you moved.
That's why I moved. Yeah, the building, very Italian style, was like.
Sure. So
I lived a couple floors above her. Yeah. Yeah. I moved in here because I wanted to be close to her. Very luckily, I got to spend the last few years with her, very much in proximity. Yeah, my grandmother was the most wonderful woman I've ever met in my life. Aww. She was 99, horny as fuck, would constantly be like, who's keeping you warm these days? If I brought a boyfriend home, she'd pinch their ass. She'd like make them turn around and pinch their ass.
What? Hilarious.
The toughest broad I've ever met. And as I say, I try to be her. Yeah. But I just wear black because she wore white every day. Okay. She like only wore white, like a beautiful redhead cult leader. Yeah, I love it. So I try to be her.
White robe every day. That's amazing. So she was 99 living on her own in her own apartment.
Yeah,
That's
two of my
incredible.
aunts live in my building. I live in my
Oh,
building.
wow.
So like the
Nice.
family is
The
around, but
family.
yeah,
Yeah.
she had her own place until the day she died. You know, no
Damn.
one moved
That's
in.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
very
incredible.
independent.
Yeah. I mean, to be
My girl.
99 and still taking care of herself and just killing it. That's
Oh
amazing.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
When and where were you most happy? When and where were you happiest, I should say. Technically, that's what it said.
Interesting. I'm gonna tell you the truth because I could come
Okay.
up with something, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. The period of my life in which my novel takes place was the
Oh,
happiest time of my life,
nice.
despite everything that happened. It
Yeah.
was the happiest I've ever been.
Right on. What era was that?
Like 3 years ago.
Okay. Cool.
I
Very
was
good.
I was in a specific job in a specific
Mhm.
transitional point in my life.
Sure.
That was the happiest time of my life.
Damn. Nice. Which talent would you most like to have?
Singing. I will never
Putting out an
I will
album.
never think I'm good enough. I'm working with 3 different voice teachers on different
Mhm.
principles because I'm just trying to like, grow as much as I
Right.
can every week. It's like, oh, if I see 3 people, I'll do even more.
Yeah.
But I would still say singing because I still want to be better.
Sure. Well, that's good to want to strive to be better at something you like to do. If you could
Yeah.
change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
I mean, that imposter syndrome again.
Back to that.
Maybe like I would like to be. No, I was gonna say like, oh, I'd like to be taller. I don't want to be
Mhm.
taller. I'm fine being small.
Sure.
I'm fine being small.
Yeah.
I would like to be more curious. I would
Mhm.
like to be more compassionate. And I would like to keep giving myself more time in the day to read.
Nice.
Those are my
I
answers.
like those.
Thank
What?
you.
Yeah. What do you consider to be your greatest achievement? If it's happened yet.
Surviving.
Yeah.
Surviving.
There you go.
Hasn't been an easy life, my friend, but
No,
I've survived.
you're
No,
here.
you'll you'll read about it, you'll hear about it,
Yeah.
you'll hear me sing about it.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward to reading and hearing about all of the things. If you were to die and come back as a person or a thing, what would it be, or who would it be?
Ooh. I would come back as Channing Tatum. He's
What?
very he's very handsome. He seems very blissed
Is
out.
it
He is the ultimate himbo. He's a white
himbo?
man living in American society. Who has it better than Channing Tatum? And he's sleeping with Zoe Kravitz right now. Who has it better than
Yeah,
Channing Tatum?
nobody. But I would rather be Paul Rudd than Channing Tatum.
Ooh, yeah, you never age.
Mm-mm.
But then you have to do the whole
Ageless.
Bathory like drinking the blood of innocence thing.
Yeah, ageless wonder Paul Rudd. He's like 50
Is
years
that
old.
is that okay with you? Do you just want like Kool-Aid pouches of like 7-year-old stem cell blood?
I mean, maybe.
Am I learning a lot about you
If
tonight?
if it's not going to if it's going to waste otherwise, sure, I'll take it.
That's the Paul Rudd diet,
Yeah,
That's the Paul Rudd diet.
it
Blood of
is. It
innocence.
has to be. He drinks Slurpees with that in there. That's what I heard. Gross. He just calls them Slurpees. They're not really Slurpees.
Gross.
Moving along. Where would you most like to live?
So there was this time where Matt Damon was talking about meeting Prince,
Mm-hmm.
and Matt Damon went to Prince and said, so I've heard that you live in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And Prince said, I live inside my own heart, Matt Damon. And so I would like to, if I can't live inside Prince's heart because it is stop eating, I would like to live inside my own heart.
Nice. Not Matt Damon's heart. I was hoping you wouldn't say Matt Damon's heart.
No, never Matt Damon's heart. No. That man is a mess. He needs a better publicist.
That should be the name of this episode, Matt Damon's heart. I don't know. Probably not.
Go for it. Go for it.
What is your most treasured possession?
Besides my cats, I have one of Dave Grohl's drumsticks from when he did the Them Crooked Vultures tour.
God, screw you.
I was 18 His drum tech, Gersh, came out on the stage to start disassembling everything. And I yelled at this man. I said, I am 18. These are natural. I will show them to you if you give me that drumstick. And this man, bless his fucking heart, I hope he's well wherever he is, said, I will give you this drumstick to not show me your barely adult breasts. And I said, we have a fucking deal, my guy. That is my most treasured possession. That is not my two beautiful babies.
So a Taylor Hawkins drumstick and your cats. I love that.
No, Dave Grohl's drumstick. Man.
Oh, Dave Grohl's, yeah, duh.
Like,
not Foo
Fighters.
Which
is even more rare because he doesn't drum much these days.
Which is so weird. It's crazy. It's crazy he doesn't drum that much anymore.
No, that shit is framed in my house though.
As it should be.
Like I have a shadow box that was made for one drumstick, and it's just like on my wall.
I love that. So, what do you regard as the lowest depth of misery?
Probably these days, refusing to get vaccinated and then dying of COVID.
Yeah, right.
Shit's gotta suck, man.
Boy, yeah.
You're like, I'm dying. I'm in pain. I have a breathing tube down my neck. And the worst part, I was wrong.
Yeah, that's the worst. People are stupid.
Yes.
What is your favorite occupation or job that you've had? Or one that you haven't had yet?
Sure. In my dreams, I'm a Haley Williams-sized rock star.
Nice.
And a Meg Wolitzer-style novelist writing searing truths about the human condition.
Nice.
My happiest job, I worked at an IT company, and I was like one of 3 women there, and it was beautiful geek fraternity of your dreams. Everything was Dungeons and Dragons figurines, and we're all going to stop working and watch Conan the Barbarian.
I love it.
That was the best job I ever had.
Cool.
That ruled. But my future dreams of not dreaming of labor,
right,
should be in the forefront. Really.
Yes, it should. Do you have you ever watched Mythic Quest? The show?
Is that the Rob McElhenney?
It is.
Yeah, I want to watch that because I love him.
Yeah, I think you should watch it. It made me think of it when you were talking about that Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, it's their gaming company, but it's a really great show.
I definitely plan to watch that.
Yeah, I think you would enjoy it for sure. It's
okay,
really
thank
funny.
you.
Yeah,
I'll move it up my list.
All right, scoot right up.
I have a literal list. It's a literal document.
Like doc. Okay, all different
people,
platforms.
Oh, it's going on my list. It is a Google Doc.
It's a physical, it's a physical list. I like that.
I'm fucking organized, baby.
You sound like you are.
Twisted.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. She's organized, everyone. All right. We got 10 more questions. What is your most marked characteristic? Not. How do you pronounce it? Marked.
Being devastatingly inappropriate at all times.
I love that though. That's part of like what makes you, you know?
I guess.
From what I've gathered thus far. So what do you most value in your friends?
The thing I truly most value is when they will step and call me out on something.
Oh, always good to keep you in check.
You can get sycophantic assholes just about anywhere.
Yeah.
But really for someone to go, can you shut the fuck up? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, Nate.
That's awesome. I love that answer. Who are your favorite writers? I know you've mentioned a couple already, but if you want to plug them
Carrie
again.
Fisher. Carrie Fisher is my number one favorite author, writer of all time. Meg Wolitzer is a huge inspiration for me. I mean, like Paul McCartney, Beatles lyrics, give them to me all fucking day. Shoot that shit right in my veins.
Mainlining Beatles lyrics.
Yeah, Megan Abbott. I love Melissa Broder is one of my favorite authors of all time. John Irving. I love John Irving.
Nice. Good mix.
Thank you.
Yeah. Who is your hero of fiction?
That is a great question. Dolly Gallagher Levi from Hello, Dolly.
Oh, wow. Nice. Well, musical reference, huh?
And an open-hearted meddler.
Wouldn't it be funny if someone described you as that, an open-hearted meddler?
I I only meddle with consent. Like, I don't matchmake, and I don't try to force exchanges.
Consensual meddling is what you
Yes,
specialize in.
I very often like help friends get jobs,
Really?
and that kind of thing. Like, yeah, like I mentioned before, like I connected a friend to a design company, and now they have a partnership.
That's right. Yes.
And it was a very casual thing. I reached out to them on Twitter. I was like, you should bring my friend in. She loves your brand.
What?
And they did. And
That's
I do
insane.
this all the time, and I get a high off of it.
Wow.
I love connecting people.
Yeah.
So.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, hook me up if you can.
For sure. Please, for sure. Anything.
Yeah. What historical figure do you most identify with?
That's a great question. Marilyn Monroe. I always identified with the true Marilyn, not just the glamour Marilyn.
Right.
And Le Maupin, who was a French woman from many, many centuries ago. And she was, in my dreams, I will write the biopic of her, but she was this like badass woman who would kind of disguise herself as a guy. She once was having an affair with a woman who was training to be a nun, and to get the woman out of the convent, she set the convent on fire and fled with this woman.
Damn.
Yeah, Le Maupin is someone that I've read quite a bit about, and in my dreams I would be writing that movie.
I mean, it could happen.
It could happen. I got to finish this damn book first, but then it's not going to happen.
How much do you have left of the book? Like, what's your time frame on it? Like, as far as what you think, as far as like being done.
I have about
100. Get it to the editor.
Yeah, I have about 195 pages. I feel like it's going to be 400 or fewer, so I could have up to 200 pages left to write. It's just I know every beat of the story, so it's just a matter of getting it out and then editing it down. I don't have a book deal or anything. This is just the book. So then it's a matter of maybe pitching it or releasing it myself. I would love to be published. But that's a dream to have. We'll see.
I mean, you'll do it, right?
So at the very least, it's halfway done. I think it's more than halfway done, though.
Nice. And when did you start it?
Man, I started it like 2 years ago, but I gave myself a lot of breaks because it was so
writing music in between.
It was so and it was so personal that I gave myself some grace. And you don't have to get this done in 3 months. You can take as long as you need to tell this story.
There's no deadline.
Yeah,
that's good, because I mean, I figure if you were under that deadline, that you are self-imposed deadline, it would be just too much pressure on yourself, and you'd have to try and rush it, and wouldn't probably turn out as good as you wanted it,
Yeah. I write the book when it calls to me. So I wrote a little bit yesterday, and that was the first time I had touched it in like a month.
Right. Whenever
I just write when it calls to me.
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, I feel like forcing yourself to be creative is never a good recipe for being creative or having an outcome.
No, absolutely not.
Who are your heroes in real life?
Let's see. As I mentioned, Fran Drescher, my quote unquote like real mom, as I call her.
Yes.
And my grandmother and Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Anyone else that I'm missing?
Anyone else?
Anyone else that I'm missing? I don't know either. My therapist fucking rules.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Love my therapist. Wish I had her clarity. And my two best friends.
Nice.
So Catherine and Erica, if you're still listening to this, you two are certainly my heroes.
Nice. That's sweet.
Yeah.
What are your favorite names?
Names?
Yeah. I love how these questions aren't related to each other. It feels like it's like so like
just like, hey, Paul is a nice name, like that type of.
I don't know. What are your favorite names?
My thing is, I hate a lot of names.
I do too.
I kind of hate every name. Like I'll see people announcing the birth of their baby, and I'm like, it's another Braden. It's another Braden.
Yes.
And it's another like Grayson, Faden.
Yes.
Zayden.
What's with all these names ending in EN now?
Maiden.
What's up with that?
There's this woman.
My brother made up a name. Cragen. Okay. It's Cragen. That's what he.
Wait. Is he naming his child that?
No, he made up the name to make fun of all these shitty names.
Thank
Cragen.
God. Cragen is from SVU. That's the captain. That's his name, Cragen. He's Chief Cragen or whatever the hell.
Played by Dan Florek.
Yeah, Dan Florek. That's his character name.
Quinn, I'm calling you out, my brother. Quinn, you stole that name from SVU.
Quinn is a good name.
My brother's name.
Quinn is a good name.
How did I not know that was his name? Cragen. I knew that.
I could tell you my least favorite name of all time.
Cragen. No, it's Gregan with a G. Gregan.
Oh, Grogan.
Gregan.
That's probably some kind of D&D character, honestly.
It's Gragen.
Right?
Gregan, I think.
Yeah.
It's gross.
My least favorite name of all time, there was this woman named McKinley Hatch, and of course it's spelled McKinli. That's important to the story.
I hate the name
McKinley Hatch was like a Utah mommy blogger.
Gross.
And she posted this famous photo because it's a meme now. She's got the pregnant belly and she's got this blackboard behind her and it's listing all of the names that she and her husband wanted. So it's like Navy, Nayvie. Taisley, Taisley. They're all girl names, by the way.
The name I would have never known. Taisley?
The name they decided on was Laikyn, Laikynn. But
gross.
The name that they did not decide that she wanted for her daughter is... I'm going to spell it for you, and I want the disgust to just settle on your face, even though the listener isn't going to hear this.
I'm just so anticipating this.
All right, so M, and you're like, M is fine. MC, and you already know that something's going to happen.
Mackenzie McKinley.
McKarty. McCarty. McCarty. This is my beautiful little girl that I carried in my womb for 9 fucking months, and then I had to push out of my vaginal hole, I'm naming this child McCarty. What the fuck is a McCarty? What white nonsense is this? McCarty.
I don't know what that even is.
McCarty Hatch. Can you imagine that poor child? Hi, I'm McCarty.
What's your last name, kid? Hatch. McCarty Hatch. You know what the McCarty Hatch is? The McCarty Hatch is some kind of place that you sit in while you're flying something. And the McCarty Hatch.
That's good.
Steve, get in the McCarty Hatch. We're going to take off in a few minutes. God.
That's my least favorite name. I'm very judgmental about names. I will meet a friend's baby and I'm like, oh baby, that is not a name. We got to call you like Bruce or something. We got to call you anything else. Like Paislin, or it's Monroe, but it's spelled MAWNKROE. It's like,
ugh, gross. And I'm sorry.
I get
invention,
but
yeah, I don't know. I know no one's really naming their kids Mackenzie anymore, but there's like 500 ways to spell fucking Mackenzie, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah, McKynzie.
Yes. IEEY. Like, why are there I's, E's, and Y's together? That makes no fucking sense. And that poor kid's going to be burdened with having to spell their goddamn name to everyone the rest of their lives, and it is not even spelled.
I just think of them trying to fill in the little bubbles for when they take like the standardized tests. It's like, I'm out of letters because my mom put 3 N's in a row in my name for no reason.
There's no reason for it. There's 17.
Can I use the next line?
I have 17 vowels in my name. Can you give me some more space? Oh, there's so many.
The Italians don't even do it that bad. It's like maybe the name is like Sophia. A lot of vowels, but that's then easy. When it's like McCartlin.
McCartlesby. Oh. Why'd you name a Artlesby on the end? Why'd you put that on there? Yeah, there's so many fucking terrible names. Like, there's names that didn't even exist 10 years ago that are just flooding our news feeds now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like eventually we're gonna see them on keychains when we go to like the Rainforest Cafe, and it's gonna be the wall, and it's gonna be like Paislin, and like
you keep saying Paislin. I love that one. It's so bad. Is that real?
Yeah, I saw it on like. I'm in a Facebook group that's called That's It, I'm Baby Name Shaming.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
And it's just people who post.
Fucking
it's just add me on Facebook. I'll find it for you. It's just people who post like, and they blur out identifying details. Like they won't post the baby's face in the name, and they won't post the real parent's name or whatever. But they'll be like, "This is my baby Raven." It's like RAIYVINNEH, and it's like,
oh my God.
Okay.
Gross.
All right, if you insist.
There's so many stupid ways to spell stupid names.
These extra letters in the name are taking up far less like a carbon footprint than any NFT. So it's like, are they really taking anything away from us? Just our time, just the ink on our pens.
Besides these god awful names, what is it that you most dislike? Besides fucking Paisley.
Besides Paisley, who I will meet someday. And
Paislin's grown up to be a little bitch too. We all know that.
In the field of all despair, and I will vanquish her for one and all.
As you should.
I really dislike the way that Stephen Moffat crashed and burned the narrative arcs on Doctor Who. I don't know.
Holy shit, that is wildly.
I have a lot of things I don't
specific.
like. I could run through 85 specific things I don't like.
3 more. Do 3 more.
I don't like that my cat has been licking her apron lately. She's been licking the sweet little fleefy part of her belly, and I don't know what's stressing her out, and I'm trying to figure out. I don't like that. I don't like any time that they suggest they're going to remake The Princess Bride. That makes me want to kill myself and others.
Why?
That's something I don't like.
Doing that? Why are they talking about that?
I don't like feet.
I
don't like feet. I don't fuck with feet.
Just in general. Not literally fuck with feet either.
I don't like when people don't follow the theme as requested at the Met Gala each year.
Oh yeah. Very, very timely.
I don't like that Jason Sudeikis isn't my husband.
Right. Not yet. Not with that attitude, he's not.
Someday, I'm hoping. There are a lot of things I don't like.
Yeah. Me too. Most of them are really bad names. So tonight at least. For now, that's what I don't like.
I don't like pulp in my orange juice.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially out of an actual glass where you can see all the gunk that's left in there when you drink it.
Absolutely nasty. Gross. I don't like.
And then it gets stuck to the side. It's a whole thing.
I don't like that my greatest weakness in life are emotionally unavailable drummers. I don't like a lot of things.
I love that. Oddly specific too. Emotionally unavailable drummers.
Emotionally unavailable drummers. My greatest love and my greatest foil.
Well, speaking of emotionally unavailable drummers, what's your greatest regret?
Oh.
I don't know if that's connected. I'm in my mind it was.
Okay. One of them is that I never got to see Tom Petty live. Huge regret for me. I think about it all the time.
I'm sorry. I'm sad, and I feel bad that you did not get to see
Tom
Petty.
When you said that you've seen him, I was like, fuck, another person who got to see him.
Yeah.
I regret. There was one time I was working on a movie. I was a PA on a movie,
nice.
And Dominic Cooper was at the craft service, at Crafty next to me, and I did not hit on him, and I regret it every time I see him in a movie.
Damn it!
That's my greatest regret, that I didn't try to pick up Dominic Cooper when I was a PA on a movie.
Next time?
Co-produced by the WWE, starring Colin Farrell.
What movie was it?
It was called Dead Man Down. Honestly, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good.
I've never heard of it.
They filmed it in Philly. It was Colin Farrell. I think Armand Asante is in it.
Okay. So how did you get that gig? They were just in town, they were needing workers, or were you working in TV and movies at that time?
I was living in Philly, and they put out a call. I was an entertainment and arts management major in college.
Oh, damn, I didn't know that.
We had a lot of leads around entertainment internships. Oh, do you want to intern at this venue?
Sure.
And I was like, cool, I get to work on a movie. So I worked on that one. And I worked on another one a couple of years later. Again, not a kind of indie release, but I worked on one in New York a couple of years later. And there were no actors for me to hit on. No one really struck my fancy on that one, unfortunately. Yeah.
Damn it. It can't all be that first movie, I guess, huh? Damn.
No, magic was ruined. The 16-hour days ruined the magic pretty quickly. God.
Yeah, my brother worked as a PA on Hell's Kitchen for 3 years out in LA.
Ooh.
14-hour days for him. He got burnt out driving to and fro and then being on set for that long.
I would never in my life live in LA. My friends keep asking me to move there, and I'm like, I will never do it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I can sit in traffic. Or I could go to a strip club and have fun in that time. Yeah. I could do anything. I could go to a strip club. I could work on a song. I could do anything in my life. I'm not moving to LA. You can't make me.
I love visiting him in LA, but I could never live there. The traffic is just
3 days for me is enough.
Yeah, it's insane. It's a whole different speed of life out there.
Yeah,
crazy. So 2 more questions. How would you like
Okay.
to die? Very morbid way to come to a close here. How would you like to die? That's a weird question, though. You're not
In the
gonna like
arms of a swarthy 26-year-old.
it. When
When
you're in your
I'm
late 90s, like
when
your
I'm in
grandma.
my late 90s, yes. That's how she would have liked to die too. We
Do
just
it.
with the pandemic, we couldn't
Yeah,
get
do it for
we couldn't
grandma.
get a cute guy named Giovanni there soon enough, unfortunately.
Damn, that's a bummer. Missed opportunity, grandma.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Giovanni couldn't come over. Lastly, what is your motto?
Okay. I have one that I've stolen.
Okay, that's fine.
Henry Winkler, but I think about this all the time, especially because it's my initials. Henry Winkler was on Mark Maron's podcast. It's
Yes,
such
he
a
was.
wonderful interview.
Love it.
And he talked about his own family motto, and I loved it because it was T and G. It was tenacity, gratitude.
Love it.
It was you go for what you want and you
Yeah.
accept it with gratitude.
Mhm.
And it's something that I've probably failed at doing every day of my fucking
Yeah.
adult life. But I love it. I think of it very often. And then my internal motto is probably just fuck it.
Yeah,
Fuck it, go
for
do the
sure.
thing you
For
want.
sure.
Good for good and bad.
Yeah. It's that and the wise words of Mr. Arthur Fonzarelli in real life. I love him though. I love him on Barry. Do you watch Barry?
I need to watch Barry.
Oh my
I like
God.
everyone involved on that show.
He's
And
so
I do need to watch it.
he is so awesome and just so sweet and like kind-hearted on that show. You're gonna fall in love with him even more on that
I'm
show.
excited.
Yeah, you should definitely
I will move that one up my list
move
as
it
well.
up.
Yes.
What a fun and good positive way to end our podcast chat together with some
Okay.
wise words of the Fonz in real life.
Fabulous.
Any plugs you want to share about yourself and all your stuff in your book?
Sure. So listeners who stayed until the end and didn't get annoyed with me can listen to or can visit me on Instagram and Twitter at Sweaty Lamarr. I expect to be putting out music before the end of the year. Again,
Nice.
This is very new. I used to give myself a lot of shit like, why didn't I have an album done in 3 months? Then I realized that some of my friends have taken 3-4 years in between albums and they've already been making music. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to give myself too much shit.
Yeah.
So
no pressure.
At Sweaty Lamarr, music is coming, words are coming. In the meantime, you can follow me and do my prompts each week for what is your favorite movie or whatever I'm asking. They usually wind up being really fun.
They're super fun. I love them.
Book is in the works. EP is in the works. I will hopefully be recording that maybe November, maybe October. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah. Dear listener,
and what I have to plug.
Dear listeners, please follow Sweaty Lamarr with 2 R's on
Thank you. Yes.
all the platforms. And stay tuned for her music, her book, whatever else she has in the works. She's doing all the things. Tara G and Caspero, thank you so much for joining me today on the podcast.
Thank you, Nate. This was wonderful.
It was so much fun. And listeners, you know where to find us. Just go to ontherockspodcast.com. Still looking for sponsors. We'll probably never get sponsors, but maybe we will. So if you know of anything, shoot us a message. Until next time, this is Nate Callens for On the Rocks Podcast with my special guest, Sweaty Lamarr. Watch for her. That was fun.
All right. I'm glad you thought so.
Yeah,
I'm always like, oh, I'm so awkward and annoying. Constantly telling myself that.
I think people will relate to all the things that we talked about and all the things they learned about you and all the stuff you got in the works. The bands we talked about, I mean, crazy stuff. Crazy that Good Old War. I'm still blown away by that. Like, that's your favorite band.
I've seen them so many times.
That's
so
incredible.
Many goddamn times.
That's awesome.
I need to see them. The last time I saw them was in New York. They did like a 10-year anniversary show for Only Way to Be Alone. That maybe was the beginning of last year or the end of I think it was the end of 2019.
Okay.
I think that's the last time I saw them. But next time they come to you, like, run, don't walk, because they still sound super great.
Well, the thing is, like, no one around here knows about them, unfortunately. Unless they're opening for another band, I don't know if we'd ever get them to come here, which is unfortunate. We do get a lot of bands here, but like, they have to be either like have like really like solid fan base around here, opening for someone else, or have already like a following, which is unfortunate, but you never know. I'm not
Yeah.
ruling it out. You know, we had the Gaslight Anthem here back in 2009, and they haven't been back since. And Fallon's never come here solo. So
Well, they haven't like. They also haven't really
they've
done like they haven't toured
broken
too
up.
much lately. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a bummer, but hopefully they'll do something. I thought they would do more like for the anniversary stuff. I know they were going to do the 10th anniversary of 59 Sound. And we thought about going to see them, but we read the reviews about the venue they were playing at. I guess this venue is just like, it was just like horseshit venue that people had a lot of bad reviews about. I'm like, I don't know if we want to go all the way to Chicago into this crappy venue just to see them.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I mean, last time I saw Gaslight Anthem, I saw them at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park.
Oh, nice.
And
Jesus, legendary.
they sounded good. Yeah, I was just in Asbury Park for a wedding this weekend, and literally the restaurant was across the street from the concert venue, so we just kind of like stood outside and listened to Almost Queen for a couple minutes, like this big Queen cover band. It was fun because all of a sudden we were just like, this is cool, like free entertainment. And if you stay at the hotels there, basically you could just kind of listen into the shows at the Stone Pony, so you don't even have to pay to go.
Well, fucking A. Might as well do that.
Sorry, I'm petting my tiny daughter.
That's okay.
Simone!
I've got a tiny little daughter. She has a box in my office. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, chicken. What's her name?
Her name is Huey Lewis.
And wait, you have two or you have one?
We have 3 cats. We have a Huey Lewis, we have a Joan Jett, and we have a Stevie Nicks. All rock and rollers.
Oh my God, you have a Huey Lewis. Do you exclusively refer to her as Huey Lewis, or do you call her Huey?
We call her Huey, or we call her Huey Lou. And she's a girl, but we're like, we're gonna name her Huey Lewis. That was part of the deal. Like I was
so sweet.
I was never a cat guy. I never was around that many cats as a kid, and so like my wife convinced us and me to get a cat, and I was like, okay, I get to name the cat, and so I'm like, let's name her Huey Lewis. So everyone thinks she's a boy, of course, but TV shows. We didn't even get into TV shows the next time.
Oh my God! Literally, are you kidding me? I would love to come back. Anytime you need a guest, like if someone drops out, if you've got a blank spot, I'll come back.
You're cool.
I love doing this stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, so to be continued then. Only Murders in the Building. My God, that show is awesome. Like, I obviously love Steve Martin and Martin Short. Steve Short, we'll call him, because there's 2 Martins. Short. Yeah, and what's her name? I'm blanking.
Selena Gomez.
She's actually really great. Like I wasn't super familiar with her acting at all.
She's game. She's game for the environment of the show. So
I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed her being cast on that show, but it makes sense though when you see her on there. It's like she's just kind of like the voice of reason for those guys.
I have 2 recommendations for you if you like this show, and I'm not sure if you've seen them. Mm-hmm. Number 1 is the movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Robert Downey Jr.
Never seen it, but I've heard of it. Yeah,
it's very similar tonally to what's going on in this show. It's great. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was like, that's when I saw that I was like, oh, Robert Downey Jr. needs to get his career back, and then he did. Like, thank God.
Big time.
That one, and then Bored to Death on HBO.
Oh.
The Schwartzman, Galifianakis, Ted Danson.
I don't know why I haven't watched that show. A couple of heavy.
Only Murders in the Building. Yeah, Only Murders in the Building is like not a ripoff of it in terms of plot, but it's a ripoff of it in terms of like it feels like a Woody Allen vehicle. Like it feels like a Woody Allen the quotes the and the back and forth and the sort of tone and the New York vibes. So I would definitely recommend those 2 if you've been enjoying Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, of course. So
okay, excellent. And keep in touch. Recommendations
of course.
You want to ask for? Let's be. I love talking to you. Let's be
super
friends.
Fun. Let's do it.
Perfect.
Let's be friends.
Okay.
All right, Tara.
Nate, have a wonderful night.
Have a great night.
You again.
Thank you again.
Bye.
Well, gang, that wraps up my super fun interview with Tara Jean Caspero. I had a blast chatting with her, and thank you so much for listening to On the Rocks podcast. I really appreciate it. It's presented by supermetalworld.com. Check us out at ontherockspodcast.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, review, rate, all that good stuff. You can find all of the socials and everything at ontherockspodcast.com. Once again, my name is Nate Callens. I'm On the Rocks Podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.